was interesting. Hey everyone, just let us know if you can hear me. I think I got someone else's feed through just then at the last second. Anyway, welcome to Synth Geekery, episode 283. We are flying with the New World Order, according to Daren anyway. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of shit about to go down, and I'm just sitting here in Australia thinking, I don't give a fuck. Anyway, so, welcome. Synth show, synths, samplers, that sort of crap. You know what it is. You're here for the right reason. If you're not, piss off. Right, let's go.
Whoa.
Just a really quick intros to that.
That's a really good introduction, Ranzee. That was
like
really good. In like Flynn, yeah.
No mucking about.
You see, you always have to put something there out, ready for him to get an intro out.
Yeah, yeah. You won,
Darren has to
you
spur
did.
me.
Yeah.
How are we, guys? Are we good?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, I'm just
going to be the moan show, is it?
I'm just saying hello to everybody in the chat, so apologies.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
do something moany, but then afterwards do something positive.
yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Always end on a positive.
Agreed.
Good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Take
this
your
track
anger out
is
and make
rubbish.
us music.
I mean,
But
just look
but
at
you're
Andy.
a really nice person.
Just look at Andy there. He's had to get up early, and the last thing he
Yeah.
wants to hear
Yeah,
is us
bedhead.
moaning.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to hear us
Bed
moaning.
hair, mate. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't get bedhead, Andy, because I just cut it all off. And
Well, I'm
then,
about to cut it off again because I like the short hair. So enjoy the bedhead while it lasts.
that's it. Big hello to everyone in the chat. Of course, especially to the patrons and the Synth Geekery, was Ranzee.YouTube, whatever you want to call it, channel members. So big hello to you guys. And obviously a big hello to everyone else who's on Twitch, who's on TikTok, and I don't even think anyone's on the Trovo. I don't even know what Trovo's doing. But if you are on Trovo, say hi to all
Never
your
even heard of
friends.
Trovo too. Brought it up.
Anyway, if you are in TikTok, do put a little message in the chat. Apparently, I get them through somehow. Also, we are following today on is it Blue Sky, the Twitter clone? Yeah, Blue Sky.
Yeah, Twitter. Yeah, Blue Sky. Yeah.
So if anyone hashtags Synth Geekery during that, we can if you want to tweet out something about Synth Geekery on Blue Sky, we're following that today, and we can pop the messages up onto the show down the bottom right hand corner. Don't forget also you can support the show any which way you like. For example, you can join us this one here on Zoom. You can actually join us as a video call on Zoom. It's free. All you need is something with a camera and a mic, and usually most phones and tablets have those sort of things, and laptops, so it ain't hard. It's free to join us, and yes, Zoom works, and all the technical problems we've had with Zoom in the past technically aren't because of me. So there you go. Don't forget there is Streamlabs running as well. If you're wondering about Streamlabs, you can do a TTS, and that means text to speech, and it comes up with a cool little graphic and a little dancing thing. And the good thing about TTS is Streamlabs only take a 3% cut, whereas YouTube takes a 30% cut whenever you do sort of anything nice through YouTube. So the only problem with the Streamlabs one, it means you have to jump onto a little website and spend a couple of minutes filling something in. I know it's a bit of a pain for you guys that are on phones and things. If it's just easier, just hit the super chat, and we are cool. We're cool with that. It's all good. We love you any which way you do it. Other than that, this week we have got a lot happening this week. So stick around. I believe there is, let me count them, news. We are going to be doing 16 news items.
Oof.
Yep.
Wow.
And I bet you guys didn't realise there were 16 new things out this week. Because if you look at a lot of those news sites that we watch, right, regularly, there hasn't been much. It's been slim pickings.
It hasn't.
So you've just got to know where to find it. We've got a bumper of a couple of other editions of stuff going on this week. which are regular segments, and we've got a new segment which has been running for a couple of weeks called the Synth Quiz. So we're going to be doing that again this week, and geez, it was polarizing last week because we had some Yamaha product, and it had some stuff in the description in their product, in their specs, and everyone got butthurt about it.
It was a shitty description. Come on.
Yeah,
there was a fight. Let's face it.
There was a fight, but don't shoot the messenger. I'm just picking stuff up. Okay, so
Is it going to be a fight this time?
Well, I hope so. I love it. I love it when we have a bit of something to sink your teeth into.
The whole point.
Right, now, we're going to say good day to our illustrious people that you can see here on your screen, and we'll start off with Mr. Bedhead himself, and that's Andy. How are you, bud?
Oh, boy. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's been a strange week. Pouring rain some days, nice and sunny and pleasant other days, but at night often in the 40s still, so it's all over the map. I know you guys like to talk about the weather, so I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, we did. You like good weather.
Yeah, why not? So we got that. We got finally did a hardware jam after taking a couple weeks off. I've been too busy. Had a fun appearance on kind of randomly last minute on my friend Noir at Blanc V show on Thursday night. Came on there for a while and chatted about some stuff. It was fun. And other than that, just happy to be here. That's about all I can think of for now. I'm still kind of half awake, so.
That's all right, man. If you think of something, you can always let us know. All right, we're going to head on the other side of the world and say good day to Daren, who has Daren has got the new Black Label Edition hat on today. Sporting the brand.
It's me gigging hat. Yeah. It's,
is it Make England Great Again?
I'm gonna. Yes, good thinking. Yes.
Oh God, here we go.
Yes, we might do
Here's
that.
the dark MAGA hat on. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's been. I don't know where the week's gone. To be honest, it's just sort of just blew past, and now it's Saturday again. So I've been writing more live stuff, but other than that, I don't know where the week's gone. It's very grey here for all the weather watchers. Really grim. Yeah, so basically from last Saturday to this Saturday, I don't know what's happened. Just been writing new live stuff because we're playing again at Stafford end of the month. So I'm just doing some other live stuff. I mean, I've got stuff for Stafford anyway, but I just thought I'd start writing some more because it takes me about 3 to 6 months anyway to write big sets. So we'll see how these go. And Chris will probably be doing some vocals on them. I've already got him partly in the new set, which I'm working on. So yeah, other than that, just a normal week.
Fantastic, Daren. And don't forget too, you can always give your little album a plug because it's only been out for a couple of weeks. Give it a little plug while you're
there. My album. If anyone's not seen it, or just go to Bandcamp and check that out. Good. It's definitely worth listening to. Chris, thank you, because Chris has already gave a little something, should I say, to the album, which is well appreciated. And yes, Ian checked it all out, so I know that it's at least worth listening to, if nothing else.
I would.
So so go check it out. Would you say it's
I would have been honest with you, Daren. It's brilliant. I thought it was great. It's really, really good. And I'm not blowing smoke
go
up
check
the
that out. Oh, good. Thank God for that. I put a little video out last week, actually. It's a little snippet. I think Chris will recognise some of the bits in it. It's a little snippet from the album. So the YouTube video from last week, which is, it's just letting you know that it's actually out there. So go check it out. Other than that, like I say, weeks just flew by.
Fantastic. Speaking of flying by, we're going to fly all the way down the other side of the UK and say good day to Ian.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. It's raining here. It's raining. It's bloody cold. So that's the weather. That's the weather forecast out the way. My week. So Monday, I can't remember what I did Monday, but Tuesday I had a songwriting day over at Ramshackle Studios, which is about half an hour from here with Jason. Worked on 3 songs. I ended up doing guide vocals, which will never see the light of day. I can tell you that. I can sing a bit, but I'm not a singer. But yeah, we worked on about 3.5 songs. We're doing it again next week sometime. Then Wednesday, Thursday, it was because February is always the time of year when I do my annual accounts. So I had to submit my accounts to the company's Housse and HRMC, Mr. Taxman, which I have to say is just a pain in the ass, really, but it has to be done. Anyway, that's been done, really. We put out yesterday. We put out the pre-order for the next release, which is the Endless Sky album. It's a double album, really, because they're 5 short stories. They are stories with music. I did the original sound design and music, and I'm also going to be putting out a bonus double album of the music with extra stuff. That'll be the end of the month, really. So, I mean, I'm pleased that's, I mastered it. Actually, that's what I did on Monday. I finished off mastering it on Monday. I just remembered now. And then last night, Valentine's Day, I had a nice meal with somebody called Mrs. Cole, which was really lovely. Actually, we went to a curry house in a small village, about literally 5 minutes drive away, really. So yeah, good week. I've been playing that thing. I've been trying to get my head around that thing more, because it is going to be used at the EMOM at the end of the month. It is definitely going to be used. So I don't quite know what yet.
Awesome. Looking forward to that, actually. Awesome, guys. And heading back over this part of the neck of the woods, we've got Chris. Hey.
Hey, everyone. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm really happy to be here. But I've had the week from hell here, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
It started with me finding out that someone very close to me has breast cancer. Then my mother's having an operation next week, which came up very suddenly in terms of they rescheduled it, which meant we had to cram and try to help her with online forms at the hospital, 8 pages of online forms. So that was fun. And then we had an interview with the government agency that handles people when they get older and they might need assistance going forward. So that was a really big interview that, again, was rushed because they dragged their feet and they said, oh, no, we have to do that interview now because your whole thing's going to expire and we'd have to start again from scratch. Oh, well, that's what happens. That's the rules. So they screwed us a bit over there. So the government, so I'm angry at the government. And then our toilet broke.
Oh, jeez. Our
toilet broke. And the plumber came and said, oh, no, you're going to have to get a whole new toilet. This thing's coming off, it's falling off the wall. I can't patch this up. So it's like we're all going, on top of trying to get Mum's hospital stay worked out, and there's other emails coming, and everyone in the family was all hands on deck over here at this house as we're trying to sort everything out that's going on with our household. So the new toilet was put in yesterday, and of course we weren't allowed to use it for 24 hours, and we don't have a second toilet.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Ouch.
So we've had a lovely time. Fortunately, this is going to sound crazy, my sisters live sort of 3 minutes away. So there was a lot of shuttling back and forth. And of course, when we came to do shuttling back and forth, do our ablutions, my car wouldn't start. Because the battery had died. So it took me a little while to decide that the battery was dead, because I tried the charger first, and then the charger said, ooh. And I tried my multimeter, and it said 8 volts out of your 12-volt battery. And I went, oh, I'm screwed. So I was on the phone to the RAC. That's kind of our, not MOT, but it's our sort of roadside assistance here in Australia.
Yeah, they got RAC in the UK.
Yep.
We got it too.
Yeah. Anyway, their battery division, after originally going through the online form and them saying, yes, we can come and see you at 6 p.m. tonight, to which I said, I think I'll just call you guys and see if that's really true. Oh yeah, we can come in 90 minutes. Excellent. That's much better than the website. So I had to pay some money for them, and they fixed my battery, and then my car started, and we could go and do our ablutions. And finally, the toilet is now operational. So we're breathing a sigh of relief. I'm still suffering some of the effects because I have had certain history with urination, which people who have older generation probably used to hearing of such issues, but mine's the opposite of what an older person might have. Mine's an inability to urinate. When I get dehydrated, and of course, what did I have to do when I couldn't go to the toilet? I had to dehydrate. So yes, still suffering the, going to be suffering that for a little while, but hopefully getting better. And there was some silver lining to this week. It's one of those weeks where it's like, you definitely have to call it my annus horribilis. But there were some silver linings. The first silver lining is I got new PCBs, and something turned up that I took quite a big risk on. Hang on, I'll just get a connection again. Would people like to see a kind of quite a sexy looking front panel for a new module?
Of course.
Hell
We
yeah.
love that. Oh, wow. That looks amazing.
I'll just check that it's in focus for a moment.
Yeah, it looks good from here.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
bit
does.
fuzzy, isn't it?
It's got purple knobs, so that's always a
Yeah,
thumbs up
yeah.
from at least two of us.
Yep, that is in focus. It just comes back a bit funny, I think. Oh, did I screw up the lighting? Yes, I did, of course I did. Yes, so, yes, it's not completed module yet, as you can see. It's actually got no components in it. But this is my first gold-plated module. Now, you're probably used to seeing gold plating quite a bit on eurorack modules. This is pretty much the same thing, but it's it was a case of it's bling coming to Makeshift Modular. No, really. Seriously, it's to delineate the sections as being connected. So you may notice that the grey knobs at the top have the gold background, and so do the group of connectors at the bottom. That's because they're related to each other, and that's how you can tell that they're related to each other.
Good.
It just helped a lot. But it also, I'm just really stoked with the way it's come out. I think it's turning over a new chapter in my development as a modular panel designer anyway, so quite happy with that. So yeah, that came back. I'm really pleased with the quality from the supplier, and obviously there's PCB right next to it as well, which is going to contain actual components. This is a prototype that needs to be proven, but I'm hopeful, as it is based on a previous design that does work. So hopefully this will be coming soon. So back to me.
Very cool.
And the other silver lining thing is on the Trexie project. I had a bit of a breakthrough in terms of fixing my problems with MIDI. I was having a lot of problems with MIDI, and so the way I solved those problems was by making the program upload very kind of robust and redundant. But this week I finally got to the bottom of what my problem with the MIDI was, and it was software related. It was something I didn't realize was happening. And when I did work it out, it was sort of like it all went perfect. So yes, that usual mixture of feeling like a goose, but at the same time knowing that these things happen and it's all down to experience. So the good news is that the MIDI's really schmick now, so that's going to be helpful, I think, going forward. Make sure it'll make uploads quicker, which will be really good. So unfortunately, it's been a bit of a distraction, and obviously this week has been a massive distraction. But I will at least be going back to this project, tomorrow, with some confidence and enthusiasm, positivity. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Awesome.
So that's always good. So. So crappy week with a sort of silver lining on top. It's crazy how these things happen, but they all happen at the same time. Oh, and I had 2 modular avalanches this week. So you need to run that stinger of yours that says, stop it, get some help, because I need to start securing my gear better, because I'm knocking stuff over way too much.
Oh,
So,
okay.
mental note. And a piece of advice to everyone who has precariously balanced anything, it's fine, it'll be there, I won't bump it. Yeah, you will bump it. Okay. Done it twice, so I'm definitely going to secure my crap. Yeah, distractions and all that. Anyway, so a little bit of what a community service announcement from old Maikshifter down here. And
Good
back
on you,
to you,
mate.
Rants. Yeah, cheers, mate.
Back to everyone. Awesome. So the
Hey, Ranzee, one
Agapanthus-
quick mention before I forget. The Stanford Karma had their winter concert starting last night,
Yep.
and I missed it. But there's one tonight as well. Here's the link for the page. There is a live feed, so anywhere around the world, you guys can watch it live.
Cool.
Amazing concerts, guys with modular, guys doing weird stuff with Max, MSP, Max for Live, all kinds of weird ensembles.
Nice stuff.
Check it
I was saying before, Chris, that your Agapanthus are probably getting a nice bit of an extra water out in the backyard.
Well, they actually, the plumber said, "Do you have a lemon tree?"
Yeah, they like that apparently. The uric
Yeah.
acid.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
They do.
There's a lot of Agapanthus around here too. So
Well, Agapanthus like it too because they're semi cacti. Well, they're a semi-succulent plant. Anyway, so
Gosh,
we shall.
The gardening world as well.
Yeah. I did some
still
gardening
too much
today.
nitrogen for them, I think. Though that's
Probably. Anyway, we
Cooking,
shall get on.
gardening, you name it. This show's on multitasking.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
shall get on with
And
it.
the weather.
All right. Why don't we start with actually saying hello to the chatties because we can. We're nice like that. Big hello to everyone in the chat. I probably should just mention a couple of random names, and I'm not making this anything special for anyone. It's just I'm picking random names out. So big hello to Neil Wharton, and I actually believe it may even be a happy birthday to Neil Wharton if I remember rightly. So
Well done.
I don't know if it's today or yesterday. Big Facebook tends to stuff up dates. So well done, mate. Big hello to Brett Lemmings and Kosh Dukai. Who else have we got in there? We got Matt Brown, Half God, Half Beast, of course. Jamie is there. Big hello to you, mate. And Big Jim and Brooksy. And geez, Brooksy, I tell you what, mate, your name is getting thrown around a bit on my YouTube channel because we've been doing the re-show series, and your lovely voice and face has come up a lot, and people are saying we miss you. So I thought I'd pass that one on to you.
We do, mate.
If you go have a look, there's a couple of comments on some of the videos how they have actually said that. Right now, we should get into our regular segments. I'm going to start off with this week's. Indeed it is. It's Synth Quiz time, and if you guys have never ever seen this segment before because you kind of been away a bit, we are going to give you 3 code words during the show at some random time, and I'm not even going to give you one right now, but I thought I'd just introduce it to because you probably should stick around, because if you do guess the Synth Quiz this week, you get the massive, huge, ego-boosting prize of saying that you're the quiz master for the week. Isn't that cool? No, we haven't got a sponsor for this segment yet. If you are a synth manufacturer or software or whatever, and you do want to sponsor that segment, positions open. Let us know. I'm probably going to be saying that for about 5 years, unless I probably get off my ass and actually approach someone. It's kind of like, getting stuff happening around here is a bit like listening to the crickets. Right, we shall progress and do this segment, which is definitely ready to rock and roll. Right, this one is actually done by Alex Ball, so big shout out to Alex. I know he watches the show every now and then. I love ARP. Yeah, name 3 synths. The Odyssey. Oh, that was clever.
Oh,
That was clever. I like that one. In fact, the rest of the memes after this really just pale into insignificant because it's so clever. Next, Einstein is he's flat. It is indeed. He probably would have had a chuckle at that too, to be honest.
First we get a synth, then we get another synth, and then we say no more synth. But then we find another synth, so we get more synths.
it's very good, actually.
I like that one, hey?
Yeah, that's good.
I think that was clever. Everyone's like, what? Anyway, this one came in from JX3D. Nobody's going to pay you to stare at a computer screen all day, son, said Mum in
I posted that as
1996.
well on your thing. So
And I actually think my mum actually even said that. And she knows that I've made a living from computers, and she's like, never says a word. In fact, I think in the 90s, she might have called them videos. What are you doing on that video?
You mean your mother stopped doing that to you after you got a job? I
Shout out
kept
to
on
Mum.
doing it after I got a job.
Mum doesn't
You're
watch the show.
staring at screens all day. You should get out more. Hard working, Mum.
It's nice to see the Atari 800.
I do like the Atari 800 there. And then we've got this one, which big shout out to Jim, who actually tried to reply to this guy. Just cleaned all the sticky stuff off the knobs, and a good tip is they fit perfectly in the Posi 2 screwdriver bit, so you can spin them and clean with rubbering alcohol, and it works a treat. And then Jim's like, why did you get sticky stuff all over your knob? Oh my god. Do you even have to ask that? Anyway.
they're just naturally sticky.
They come that way. Oh, dear.
Indeed. Oh my god. Arturia likes to do sticky knobs. I reckon it was all planned. Now, let us know in chat what your favourite meme is of the week, please. That's what we do here. We've been doing that since, 6 years ago. So let us know in chat what your favourite one is. We've got a few coming in already. I've got a P6. I have a P6. I do have a P6. Right. What do we reckon, guys? Stare at screens? Sticky
Stare at
knobs?
screen, I think. Yeah, stare at screens. Yeah.
Stare at screens?
Yeah.
So JX3D gets it this week. I like the art one as well. I thought the art one was clever. I'm gonna say
What sticky knobs?
There's a few more sticky knobs. Yeah.
yeah. Now speaking, well, actually I shouldn't say speaking of sticky knobs.
Andy Brooks says let him in.
Brooks is in.
News.
Brooks is here, so we should probably.
Don't
let him
let him in.
Oh, we've cajoled him onto coming onto the show again.
Yeah.
I made him feel bad. You're in, Brooksy. I just need to add you into here. Now you just got to turn your video on.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And let me just
take
open that
myself
thing.
off.
So your video is
Oh, he didn't
on.
say he was going to turn the video on.
His video is on. His
How's
video
that?
is definitely on. It's good. Just give me a sec. I'm going to fix it down the bottom. Oh, stop clicking away. What?
Ooh,
There we go. Brooksy's in. Hey.
wow.
Oh, I could
Howdy.
state of that.
He
That's
looks
been
like he's about to
sitting
kill.
there, not.
Wow. Looks humid down
That might
there.
need a bit of a wipe there, buds.
You're not kidding, it's awful.
Now, what's
Sticky
going on
camera
with the
too? Wow.
what's going on with the overlapping business?
Yes, I'm being overlapped.
Sorry,
They are being overlapped.
it's just not been used for such a long time. You see, it's just been sitting there gathering muck.
That looks so much better. How are you, buds? You
There you
good?
go.
Why can't I get that in the right place? What's going on? Why am I sitting 3/4 of a mile away?
You used to be,
Oh,
you
then.
know,
Oh,
on top of this, mate. It was perfect before.
yeah, I know. I'm out of practice. That's what it is. Yeah. Well, after your nice comments a couple of moments ago, I thought, oh well, I can jump in for about an hour. Then I've got to go out. I've got to head up to Doncaster, Dad's birthday and stuff. And it was his birthday yesterday, but we're doing a thing today, so I'll be heading off about 2:30, something like that. So yeah, as you can see, I'm in an empty room.
Sounds like
I'll
it,
just
yeah.
take, yeah, and I've taken everything out. Now, I was saying, are you getting this mic?
We are.
Yes,
All
mate.
right, okay. Well, yeah, it's still, it'll be very echoey. Because I've taken everything out and given a real good clean, because it's amazing how messy it gets in all the corners, and having a reset up and I've got my modular here, so I've been faffing with that, but everything's through crappy headphones. And basically, I've had since sort of Christmas. Grace and I did a couple of gigs over Christmas. We played in Stoke. There was another one I've forgotten. Anyway, Grace is busy with work, and I've just had essentially a month off. I've done next to nothing, and it's been really nice. Just a little bit of faffing about. I've got a couple of new modules and been playing with those. Not that I've necessarily mastered them, apart from the Erica Synths filter. Wow, that's wicked. Erica Synths black filter with overdrive built into it. I love that. That's great. So, anyway, so that's been me for doing very little. So, you've sort of pricked my conscience. So I'll jump. I can jump in. So I'll jump in. Hi everyone. Nice to see you again.
Awesome. Nice to have you. Well, you might as well stick around for a little bit anyway, because we've got all these cool things to talk about anyway. I'm pretty sure, Andy, you'd be all over.
Yeah, Andy.
You'd be all over this stuff. Andy, say the word post.
Which Andy?
Sorry, Brooksy. I'm going to go to you. Brooksy, say the word post.
Say the word post.
And now say that is the first keyword for our synth quiz.
That is the first keyword for our synth quiz.
There you go. You heard it from Andy. It wasn't set up at all.
That's going to be the shortest short ever.
There we go. You got your first keyword, people. Speaking of which,
it's because Ranzee didn't want to take the trouble.
That's it. I don't want to get in trouble this week. I think Wigu might even be, not even here this week. I think he's just he's gone bugger it. Stuff you guys. I'm not going to be on the show anymore.
Wax is in the chat.
I'm just kidding. Let's get on with the show. We'll talk about a whole bunch of products that have popped out during the week. Some you probably would have seen, some you maybe not. Hopefully, we can shed some light on some of this stuff. The first one is this, which is the ACME. I love the name. Roadrunner, anyone? The XP60. The compact reproduction of the Oberheim expander. So for anyone who may remember the Oberheim expander, it is basically, it's got all the CEM chips in it. So it does the VCO, the VCF, the VCA. They're all CEM chips. Now this guy has used the modern remakes of those chips, and he's put this thing together. I believe there's going to be 50 of them made, so it will be a short run. He may make more. We don't have a price just yet, but for anyone who is actually keen on this stuff, you'll notice that there's still got the 3 screens. There's one on the left and there's 2 on the right, which kind of follows suit from the original design. But he's using electronics, discrete electronics, and matching the sort of original circuitry design to get this as close as possible. But the benefit is that he's compacted this to a desktop size, which I think a lot of people would love, the fact that it's shrunk right down and it still gives you all the functionality. If you're wondering, the expander is a 6-voice desktop polyphonic synth, analog, and it features 2 oscillators per voice, and it's got linear FM, it's got 15 VCAs per voice, and a multi-mode filter with low pass, high pass, band pass, notch, and phase shift, and it's got a telephone down the bottom. No, kidding. Basically, this looks pretty cool. Also, you would have, a little sharp-eyed hawk there would have noticed that it's got the rotary encoders with the LED lights on them, which is a nice little sort of functional add, and that will be a cool thing because it's got some MIDI implementation, I believe, and it'll have sort of like a status updates, and it'll have catch-up lights and things like that. So I do like that. I'm going to go back to our view because we're all here and just get some opinions from everybody. Who remembers the Oberheim expander and who's played one? Andy, you have? Yeah.
I had a play on one at University of Newcastle in the music room, and it's funny, but I mean, loads of bands have used it. Orbital, 808 State, all sorts of people, and it's one of those boxes that I've always sort of lusted after. Not that I'd ever be able to afford it. and certainly won't be able to afford this one, because if they're only making 50, it'll be very expensive.
Yeah, I'd say that the actual manufacturing of these will be, bespoke in that sense, and that's probably where it'll fetch a decent price. But having said that, I mean, they're a beautiful sounding and desktop sort of synth to produce that sort of Oberheim sound. It does excite me a little bit. Anyone else had a crack at these?
Yeah, I got to play Marcus Riles at Synthplex a couple years ago. Also Matrix 12 right next to it. He had the whole Oberheim lineup there. It was pretty awesome. It's wicked sounding. It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Any sort of opinions about how it compares to some of the other polyphonic OB synths? Does it sort of lack in anything? Does it excel at anything, or is it just kind of is it sit on its own in some sort of degree?
Well, it's certainly like the Matrix 12, for example. It's certainly much better than the Matrix 6, which I have. It's a totally different setup. So by calling it a Matrix, and since this expander is related to the Matrix a little bit, it's not the same beast at all. So people think, I could just get a Matrix 6 and save some money. No, it's not even close.
Yeah.
So
the expander and Matrix 12 were voltage controlled oscillators, but under some level of digital control. And it's called a matrix because it has a massive modulation matrix. That was the point. Anything can modulate anything. Anything could be a source. Anything can be a destination within a certain amount of reason. I mean, it's really, really complex. I more than that, I don't really know. I'm just going back to me nerdy past. So
brilliant stuff.
Do you think this guy's testing the waters with a small batch and then eventually going to make more later?
Well, I'm hoping that he's not only is he doing that, but I'm hoping that he doesn't get anyone treading on his toes, like a big company coming in and doing a copy clone version, which would just really
I wonder who would do that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he gets to sort of sit out there on his own and do this, because that's pretty cool.
He doesn't want to be spending months and years getting ready to do tooling of 1,000 only to find a certain other company got there much quicker.
Indeed.
Get 50 out now before he's first. I think it's probably a good move.
Indeed. All right. Well, that's the first cab off the rank. I think we've given that one a good little plug. The next one I thought was kind of interesting. The first person who came across this during the week that it was announced was Robbie, and I just about fell off my chair and spat my Wheaties out when he was doing a news article on a Eurorack module.
Yeah, me too.
What? Yeah.
He said there was nothing else out there.
So this is actually a PPG Wave meets Eurorack for modular synths. It's made by a company called Liquid Sky Devices, and it's a collab with Hell Modular, and it's specifically a PPG module with the dual wave tables, the Wave 2.2 for those who are eye-spying that down the bottom of the print there. Each oscillator is equipped with the sub-bass generator, overdrive, built-in VCA, and it's also available with a black paint job edition if you don't like the blue. I mean, you have to have the blue, surely. The blue is the way to go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're looking at 1,173. I don't know if that's some sort of translation dollars-wise into US from some other amount. It's kind of a weird number, but that was the amount.
I saw, five something pounds. So that would sound about right, wouldn't it?
That might be Aussie dollars then. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Robbie said it was about 600 pounds, I think.
Yeah, it's just typed 595.
All right, there you go.
All right.
So that's probably Aussie dollars. So £595. And geez, I tell you what, I actually think that would be a cool module to have. I actually love the sound of the PPG Wave. That sort of digital goodness with a bit of, I don't know. Yeah. It's
a huge part of the Tangerine Dream sound, at least halfway through their run. So
it is. Yeah, I mean,
the
like
80s.
The 80s, yeah. Obviously, the cool thing about this is that you can kind of do what they did with the PPG original, and that is you can have the digital sounding oscillators going through your analog filters. Like Andy Brooksy, you could put it through your new Erica filter, for example.
Yes.
So
Well, it's a bit of a lot of money. I have a couple of wavetable type oscillators. I'm not sure. I'm desperate to rush out and spend, 500, £600 on a wavetable oscillator, even if it does say PPG on it. Robbie's comment a little higher up, where he said you could buy the Behringer Wave and have 30 quid change.
Yep.
I thought actually
really good
perfectly
point.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Perfectly reasonable thing to say.
It is. Yeah.
I would be much more
Plus,
interested.
you can get
in that,
PPG
obviously,
waves
'cause-
everywhere.
Yeah. True. I mean, it's a bit hard to shove Behringer PPG wave into a couple of HP into your modular.
I mean, I've been listening after the PPG, well, the original PPG wave and the Behringer wave, but I've had no intention of bringing something that large into my studio, which is already shrinking because I'm cramming more stuff into it. So that's why I've been trying to cram just the smaller things like modular. So when I saw this, it was like, damn, that kind of takes my argument away, because I'm not allowed to say, oh yeah, I can't fit any PPG in this studio. I only buy modules now. Well, there's a module out now. But it is a voice. It is not the whole PPG. Whereas the actual Behringer one, at least you're going to get the whole shebang, which is a pretty important part of the whole ethos.
It's
of
just
the
a wavetable
machine.
oscillator.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
all it is.
Yeah, I mean, Rob says the Behringer
Apples
wave
and
is
oranges.
small.
It's 4 octave.
Yeah.
About the same size as the
So
DeepMind 12.
All right, yeah, right.
Ian, don't you have a sledge?
I do have a sledge.
I thought you had a sledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I. Yeah. Because that's the wavetables right there. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't need this. I mean, the sledge is lovely, but I'd never take it on the road because the boxes are.
It's
pile of
plastic.
crap.
Yeah, it's very.
It's
very
plastic,
plasticky.
but, yeah, and this occasionally the software a bit flaky, but I like it. I like the one knob per function on it. That's why I bought it in the first
Yeah, that's
place.
a great thing. You sweep through the waves really quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'd like to sort of hear a little bit more about this. So, but yeah, it's newsworthy, that's for sure. All right, now speaking of wavetables, we're going to go straight to another wavetable module that's come out, which is by Blue Lantern Modules, and these guys have brought this one out called "Give Me Some Wavetable." I think they're pretty much doing it. So I've actually got a little video to play. We'll watch that in a sec, and so you can actually have a little listen to it. Hopefully, I don't get a YouTube ping for it. It's by. Big shout out to Flavio Morellis, who's the actual YouTuber. Hopefully he's okay with us showing it. And I'll definitely be linking him into the chat and also into the blog article, which you can see posted below the module. Anyway, this is a complete synthesizer used to produce electronic percussion sounds. The core sound generator is digital, running the Sheep firmware. The sound generator is wavetable based, of course, and it's, according to them, very easy to use. There's no menu diving. The envelopes and output VCA stage to analog. You can connect an external electronic drum pad to the trigger to trigger the module, and you can also just use your modular system trigger or Pamela's new workout or something like that, or a sequencer to trigger it. It's a handy little manual trigger button on there, as you guys probably noticed it as well. The middle key button selects among 3 different wavetable banks. Far right button selects the slow LFO mode, subharmonic VCO mode, normal VCO speeds. Far left button is a manual trigger. The keycat mechanical buttons, which you can see in the middle, are better than any of the competitors, he's saying. And they're illuminated travel buttons. You'll see this actually in the video in a sec. It's got a nice kind of, I think it's green. But I'm not quite sure. Anyway, there's 2 envelope decay generators, one for amplification, one for pitch, 2 wavetables scan parameter knobs, toggle switch button selector to send decay generators to the drive, and it creates a paper sound similar to a snare drum head. So let's have a listen, see what we can get out of this guy. I'm just going to go full screen here. And like I said, big shout out to Flavio again for his video. So I think, guys, that's pretty much what you'd expect a percussive sounding wavetable synth sound on. I think it's when I say it's expected, it's not supposed to be bowling you over, because you're supposed to get that, and then you're supposed to manipulate that into your modular setup with some of your own ideas and some of your external effects and things like that. But I do think that, let's just go back to this graphic again. I do think that sort of layout is pretty cool. It looks sensible, in my opinion. When you're thinking about it sort of from a musical point of view, it looks quite sensible. And I do like those momentary buttons in the middle, because that's, my big fat sausage fingers can press them at least. Thoughts, guys? Price? 18 HP. And 175 US schmackaboonies.
That's
the price.
reasonable.
Very reasonable.
Cheap, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I've already got some Blue Lantern modules on its way to me. Not this one, obviously, but I bought it before this was announced. But so I've already taken the plunge into their little world. So interesting to see what they're doing. This is cool.
It is. Now, I mentioned before that I would post the link to Flavio's YouTube video that I just showed. It's in all of the chats now. It's on Twitch. It's on YouTube. Everyone's getting it. Now, there is also another module that's come out from Blue Lantern, and so they've actually been busy there. And this one's called the Phrog, with a PH.
Yes.
Now, this is actually an analog filter. And it's got a separate 3-channel mono mixer on it and a VCA combo. And there's also an internal envelope generator with decay. And all this basically needs is a VCO and a trigger signal to complete a mini voice, basically. So if you've got like just a standard VCO or any sort of tone generator, this will just complete your voice, which is a pretty cool thing. The outputs on the filter are meant to be manually patched into one of the VCO inputs, so actually internally into the module, so it's a self-patching module. And it doesn't have, from what I understand, it doesn't have internal patching. It's like a physical thing that you've got to do.
It's not normaled.
It's not normalized, correct.
Explores.
But I could be wrong, but that's what I've been told. And what was the other thing? There's a feedback is called Res, which makes it sound like an MS-20 filter. So they're not saying it is an MS-20 filter, but because it's got the Res product in there, and there are diodes that are used as a limiter, which also shape the waves when it's in self-oscillation mode as well. So you get 2 audio inputs with 2 level controls. You get a bipolar FM for the filter, mod input for the level for the filter, and filter CV or FCV you can see there, which is a direct input for the filter as well. And all CV inputs are 1 volts per octave and exponential. And there's a whole bunch of other things and bits and pieces. Let me just shut up for a second. We can have a listen to it if I get all that ready to fire. Is that the same video, or did I just screw up? Hang on a sec. I'm pretty sure that should be the Phrog video. It's the same video. I screwed up. Here we go. There's that res Yeah, it does have a bit. It's a 6-minute long video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, guys, but it does have a bit of an MS-20 sort of feel to it, don't you reckon? If you guys are aware of what the MS-20 resonance sound is like, it kind of is a bit fuzzy, which I do like. Yeah. It's not as whistly; it's fuzzy whistly.
Yeah,
Weird way
it's
to
funny if
describe
you
it.
look at the center icon, the blue lantern icon. It looks very much like the General Electric logo.
It does a bit,
that's
doesn't
what
it?
I thought
Yeah,
too.
it does a bit.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought they were suggesting like there was a G vacuum tube in there or something. But
Exactly,
no,
yeah.
no. It was just a kind of a visual pun, I guess you call.
Yeah.
Oh, it could even be a bit of a P155 take, which I love that sort of stuff when businesses do that. Now, that video link, once again, from the YouTube video that we shared, which was Flavio Mirelli's. I've just posted that in all the streaming platforms, so you guys can give him a bit of love for doing that. So thanks for that, Flavio. I don't know if you're around or not, but anyway. I did like that filter. I mean, there's a million filters out there. It's a hard market to crack when you're a Eurorack manufacturer, but I did like it, and I especially like the fact that it's a stereo effect filter. So, yeah. Any thoughts, any guys?
Sounded nice.
I wish that hadn't been covered in loads of ping pong delay. It would have been nice to hear it a
Yeah.
bit more pure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's available.
Shall we start with the
elsewhere in
regular
video.
and then add the effects? Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget, it's not. I don't know if it's their guy that's doing it. I think it's just another guy that's just showing it. And there is a 6-minute video, so maybe a bit further down you might turn
That's
it
fair
off.
enough. Yeah.
Price?
$245. That one.
Okay, a bit heavier, but it is a bigger module. Yeah.
It is a big, yeah. Right. What else we got? We got lots of stuff. Next is this weird looking thing. This is actually a second.
Dear.
This is it is a fidget spinner. This is a second suck of the salve by NoodleVolt. They've had this out before, but I don't know if you guys are actually really spying something other than the fidget spinner. What's underneath it? Aren't they guitar pickups?
Guitar pickups, yeah.
They are indeed.
Yeah.
So basically, this is essentially a manual LFO. That's basically what this is. So you go and you spin it round. I don't know if I've got a video here. Yeah, I do actually.
Are they left a single coil? They're set up as a humbucker.
I'll get the video set up in a second and you guys can watch it. Basically, it's an analog circuit that responds differently. Uses the distance sensors or light sensors to trigger a pulse. The CV input is powered with a Vactral controlled attenuator, and it can go into an audio rate for modulation, sort of FM sort of style stuff, when you spin the spinner. It also has a buffer, meaning it is not passive, so you ensure you get the stronger signal. And that's the difference between this and the previous version. They tried several revisions that were passive and they never ever got it to sort of be strong enough. So they decided to make it like an active type thing. It's all custom built using through-hole, and every sort of thing has been hand-wired and soldered and everything, and they test each unit to ensure that it's calibrated and things like that. Now let me just line this video up. I don't know why I actually didn't have it lined up before, so...
And a no-nonsense machine bolt right in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was holding my breath on that till later. You picked me at the
at least
post.
painted
I
or
was going to
something.
say
I don't know,
straight.
it's kind
It's straight from Harbour Freight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Home Depot.
Where are we? Oh, the
I
video
think it
is
looks
there.
fab.
It does look fab. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to
Fumbling.
fumbling to get
Yeah,
the
fumbling
video.
too.
There it is there.
Yes. No, I quite like the bolt in the middle. It's the sort of kind of thing I'd
Well,
do.
certainly a good use for a fidget spinner because they're pretty useless. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
All right,
So
here we
last
go.
year-
Right. Here we go.
That's cool, actually. Yeah.
That's insane. I love it when he smacks that and just absolutely, it just goes bonkers. That is insane. I can just imagine you guys having fun with that.
The panel design's clever actually, because of the way the spinner itself visually sort of strobes against it actually matches the modulation, which was clever.
Yeah, I did read somewhere. I can't remember if it's on Reverb or not, where you buy these. I don't think they've got their own website, but you can find this on Modular Grid anyway. But I read somewhere that you've got choices with the panel design, and I think there's something about every single fidget spinner that they choose. They actually do like a spin test to make sure that they're kind of nice. God. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Wow.
Mechanical stuff. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Thoughts, guys?
Just to remind us, we are making music, aren't we?
Nah, it's just plain silly.
Nah, don't have to be making music, no.
It's a cool idea, but it's a lot of HP. I have an external box.
Yeah, you could do one of the little pod things, couldn't you, with 4MS, something like that. Yeah. I reckon it'd be noisy. That's the only problem, because I mean, when he smacked that fidget spinner, right, it was like making a lot of noise. I'm wondering whether that sort of noise does get picked up on the humbuckers, So
it will do.
Yeah, especially those pickups by your other modules. That might be a problem, right? Some modules might be sensitive.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who's ever used contact mics in their modular will know that there is some of that crosstalk stuff going on with it as well.
As well.
Yep. It's always a risk, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of the what's the word?
Price of entry.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the thing that you like about it. You like that sort of.
It's the vibe, man.
Yeah, you're in it for the long haul.
When you finished your fidget spinner and you've done your set, you get on your skateboard. And you go away. It's that kind of vibe.
Just run the whole sound through
modular
escape. It's all good.
Just don't let kids into your studio. All your fidget spinners are going to get stolen.
These days it'd probably be a one wheel, wouldn't it?
Anyway, so that's the NoodleVolt Spinner, which I thought was very, very interesting indeed. And like Andy said, you don't have to have this in a eurorack. You could actually just get a pod for this and use it for something that modulates any synth these days. I've got a lot of CV controls on them now, so you could use that with your synth. That'd be pretty cool. Price, what was the price that I mentioned? $160 US. So
slightly put me off.
Yeah. I think that the cost in this is those guitar pickups and the DIY type side of it.
Yeah. You understand he's using premium fidget spinners, so they're really expensive.
Premium fidget spinners.
Yes, manufactured in China by the billions. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Frequency Central, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of. They're based in the UK, and this particular module is called Pretzel Logic, which
what the hell is it?
It's
Steely Dan, right?
Okay,
Rants, tell us what it is.
It's a digital shift register.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. So I thought you'd understand that, Chris. It has a logic processor. It's ideal for pattern generation and clock division and pseudo-random sequences. It's inspired by classic shift register designs and offers various basic logic outputs for experimental sequencing and modulation.
Turing machine.
It's an 8-bit digital shift register for pattern and sequence generation. It's got multiple clock options for flexible timing control. It has gate and trigger processing with logic-based outputs. It has an XOR and OR, so they are, XOR, AND OR, just so you guys know that. You might remember them in maths. And other logic functions for signal manipulation. It has pseudo-random sequence generations for evolving patterns, CV controllable inputs, and it's, I wouldn't say it's a compact Eurorack design, but that's what they said. 185 British pounds. The module's well suited for those who like glitchy rhythms. There isn't a video. Frequency Central, please do some videos, guys. I love your stuff. Do some more videos. Or just send modules to people like me whoever, Chris, whoever does videos. So
Yeah, send them to us.
yeah,
We'd love to review
we'd
them.
definitely review them. Thoughts about this, guys? So anyone played with shift registers or, I mean, marbles comes to mind in a way.
Turing machine.
Turing machine.
machine is a 16-bit shift register.
Disting does similar things. Yeah. It's not out there on its own in any sort of way. It's I think just go back quickly, just have a look at it again. I think it's the layout that becomes more intuitive with this. So if you look at the way it's all numbered and things, that's kind of more. It makes it a little bit easier to understand, I guess, if we had a video showing it. But trust me, when I tell you the layout is actually pretty handy. That layout, by the way.
It's also got a patch point for every part of it, which not all shift register based modules are going to allow you random access to different parts of the register. Usually, it's one part of the register is spat out a particular
you just
output,
get the output,
and you get the output of just the last bit.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it kind of unique in that sense. And it's not the only one that does it, by the way. There's a few others that have matrixy style shift register. I think we showed one a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, Frequency Central, sorry. I was about to say feedback. Frequency Central are based in the UK, and they're a good bunch of stuff. I've got a envelope generator sitting right in front of me, made by them. Very, very good stuff. Very, very reliable. Anyone else want to make a comment before we go to the next? Pretzel Logic. Can't remember how many HP it was. It looks like it's about 16?
14?
14 maybe?
14 or
yeah.
16.
Just a sort of guesstimate. Anyway. Next! Another eurorack module. Sorry, guys. Don't worry, it's not all eurorack today.
Wow.
That is a weird name. What did you say that was, Andy?
Sisyphus. He was the guy who had to push the rock up to the top of the hill, and it would run down to the bottom.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Greek
Yes,
mythology.
I remember that.
Yep. Greek.
So
remember him.
Kaona are the company that do this. Now they've done some pretty cool
So they're
stuff
trying to
in
tell
the
you how
past.
hard it is to use the module. You keep going back.
That's it, Andy. You'll never get your head around it.
Is that where the saying "between a rock and a hard place" comes from?
No,
It might be.
don't think so.
Could be.
What is this? Is the question, and you can
Pushing
see
a
all
rock
these
up
words
and
like
down.
low pass, high pass, and band pass. I
Filters.
think you guys are pretty much. It's a granular synth with advanced filtering, allowing you to. Let's do the marketing talk. Deep sculpting and evolving textures. It features stereo or dual mono operation, real-time control over grain parameters, which I do like, and a selection of 8 custom filter types, which you can see there. Within the module, you can see that it's got 4 CV inputs, pattern-based grain sequencing, which is cool, and there's an SD card for configuration, which may be on the back of it, I think. I can't see it on the front there. So what we're looking at here, we're looking at features, right? Granular synth with pattern-based grain sequencing, 8 different filter types, including low pass, high pass, band pass, notch, and carpless strong, which you can all read there, and stereo dual mono, real-time controls, 4 CV inputs for external modulation, and a compact 24 HP design, and €492 this one. So
Wow.
let's have a little look at the video. don't know if I could hear the filters when he was flicking across the field. I think he was.
Nothing's changing.
I think he was just showing it, but I don't think we were hearing it.
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't think we're
irritated
hearing
by
it.
the snare sound.
Yeah, and the snare was a bit annoying.
irritating.
I think the track
Horrible,
may have
yeah.
been. I think the track may have been written with it. Every so often he was saying, lead 1
Yeah,
in the same font as talking about the features of the module. It'd
yeah.
be good if it had a different font. Then we could have known you were talking about the music. Then you're
Indeed.
talking about the module. Then you're talking about the music. Then you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's important,
It's-
guys, to
yeah,
show
it's
what you're
kind of
doing
important.
as you're doing it. The one thing that he used the most in that video was that transition knob. I noticed, and the feedback knob as well, which is which is interesting because it's got a filter and the cutoff knob wasn't used very much. So the transition knob, I'm guessing it's because he's transitioning across the grains, right? That's kind of what I feel he's
Sweeping.
doing.
Why is it? Why is there 2 grain length knobs? One large one and one small one.
I
I like it.
Course fine, maybe.
because it's using that would probably be the pattern grain sequencing control.
Right.
So it
Okay.
would
Yeah,
give
that makes
you fine or coarse pattern grain sequencing manipulation. What you heard was that that was the sequencer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like a granular synth.
Yeah.
If I was interested in getting into modular, it would be with granular synthesis. So, but I'm not.
But I don't know about you guys.
There's a chink in the armour there, Ian. There's a little chink in the armour.
Shush.
Are you guys a little confused by this? I'm a little confused by this because I'm trying to work out.
What was
Yeah, I
hearing.
like the look of it. I like the lights and everything.
The
It
lights
looks
are cool.
great. It looks great.
Best
Yeah.
demo.
The marriage
Yeah.
between the filter and the
Yeah, I was
granular
confused
synth
as well.
is a bit confusing. Like, is it just there for
Well, at
convenience,
first-
or is it there because it's actually using it?
Yeah, the first time I looked at it, I thought it was all about the filter. So I thought, it's another granular filter. So the idea being that the grains are different filter settings. So you go through the grains, different filter settings to get a sound. But no, it's an actual granular synth that happens to have those different filter models in it. So yeah, I'm catching
I
up.
like the 80s arcade vibe with the
With you guys.
backlit bleed on all the
Yeah, I
text.
quite like that. It's attractive
So
looking module.
Yeah.
looks like an arcade.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
I should have done the meme for this that I posted in Discord during the week. The next the next product is going to be polarizing because there'll be a few people not happy about it. But we'll explain.
Oh,
This is
heck.
another Eurorack module, and this one is from Behringer. This is the WASP VCF. Now, anyone who knows about WASP filters knows that Dopefer have made one for a millennium. They've had their WASP filters out there for a long time. The thing is, Behringer have made a desktop module WASP synth. So where they're coming from is they're saying, well, we've just take that circuitry out of that, and we're making it into a Eurorack module. Why does it look exactly the same?
Exactly.
As the
Then why did they follow the layout exactly of the?
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't hold up, does it?
Really kind of annoys me. But anyway,
Obviously, this one was probably designed first, and then they went for the whole synth, and this one stayed on the drawing board until they came back to it and then, we've got to get back to that what we were originally going to do, which was the copy of the Dopefer module.
It's a copy of a
That's
copy.
my theory.
now we're gonna play a video, and
Very meta.
this video is probably one of the worst sort of videos that worse is not a good word. Sorry, Andy. This is one of the bad videos that Behringer have done. See if you guys can pick up why I've just said that. Other than the Dopefer cloney stuff, just put that aside for a minute. The reason why this video is bad. See if you can pick it up.
you've got the frequency control with a CV input to control it.
Sorry, I have to stop it there because I'm going to literally throw something at the screen. Did you guys pick up on it?
No.
So all he's doing is he's moving the frequency control attenuator, right? But while he's doing it, there's an LFO that's going up faster. You know, that's obviously off to the somewhere else. So it's kind of it's very misleading. It's drowned in delay effects, by the way, too. That was the other problem with it.
Yeah.
So Henrik was all over them, by the way.
Yeah, the original WASP synth was one of the two synths that when I first bought my first ever synthesizer, I was either going to buy a WASP or I was going to buy a Korg 700. And I bought the 700. I'm the WASP
Really a better
sounds,
choice, Ian.
Sorry? It would have been a better choice. What's about the WASP?
No.
No, yeah, I know.
It was probably a better choice.
It was definitely a better choice because I know the build quality on the original WASP, as Kent was saying last night, was just appalling.
Well, the keyboard sucked, right? That little touch keyboard.
I didn't like the keyboard, and it was the keyboard that didn't sell it to me, really. Yeah.
Just for those guys who want to see what the Dopefer looked like. By the way, that one's for sale because now you can get the Behringer cheaper. No, just kidding. That's what the Dopefer looks like, and we'll just go back to the Behringer. Like, guys,
I mean, I was never that much of a fan of the WASP, if I'm honest. It was never really for me. I mean, and as we were saying last night on PSN, you can buy the whole WASP Behringer synth for less than 150 quid, which is a steal.
Yeah,
but it still doesn't make me want to go out and buy it. You know?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've got the Dopefer WASP filter, and I love it. Use it all the time. It's just so characterful, and the way you can drive it, the fact that it just breaks in unpredictable ways. It sort of ends up going crackly and
it's crackly
in funny places,
unstable.
And you don't know but it's delightful because of that.
Unstability,
and I know that the Behringer is cheaper, but the Dopefer one isn't expensive. I think it's 69 quid. It's not. It's not a lot of. It's not a lot of money.
20 quid more.
No, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, 19 quid difference in price.
I'm
thinking
another one.
You buy the Dopefer, surely. You buy the Dopefer.
It may well be.
It'll be a bit deeper,
I'm going to get the second one, and I'm going to get the Dopefer. I'm not buying the Behringer one. And I've bought plenty of Behringer recently. I'm not being anti-Behringer. I know some people are, but there are some things I just think there's just no need.
I just wish they wouldn't do this. I just don't understand.
Yeah, me
why
too. There wasn't a need for it.
There wasn't a need for this product. Yeah. I feel that the WASP filter kind of sits in a similar sort of place to the Roland SH5 filter. So both of those filters just go completely bonkers and they just become erratic and they have this sort of, crazy, crackly, gnarly, sort of almost, it's not overdriven, but it's kind of like it is, but it's not. Yeah. It's just that it just goes...
characterful filters.
Yeah.
All these, they have different characters. I mean, Dopefer have a whole range. They've got an 18 dB 303 style filter. They've got the standard ladders. They've got the SEM filters. And they're all delivering a different tonal character, which is why it's nice to have these different filters in your rack.
I have that Dopefer 30-in-1 filter thing where you can choose between all the different filter types. That thing's crazy.
That is good, isn't it? That little multi-mode one, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's chunky. It's a good size module.
Yeah, it's a chunky module, yeah. Anyway, 99 US or 50 quid. Sorry, 60 quid, I should say, for this.
I was going to ask Ian, regarding the original WASP, did it have the same plasticky build quality of the sledge, the shell?
Absolutely. Oh, it's worse. It was worse when I went to. I mean, I obviously. It was worse. I went to a shop in, might have been Doncaster, might have been Music Ground in Doncaster to actually play one.
Doncaster.
It was
many an hour lost.
Yeah, it was completely underwhelmed, and then suddenly these 700 popped
Enjoyable
up in the local
hours.
shop in York, and, you know,
Yeah.
and I was sold.
It sounds fine to an external speaker, but it sounds terrible through its own built-in one. That's when it really does sound like a Wasp.
Like an 8 ohm speaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a Chris design? You know, like the
Huggett, yeah. It was
Chris Huggett design, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you think about it,
sorry,
His first
just
one,
like
wasn't it?
was
Wasn't
just
that his
saying,
first thing?
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just Waggo was saying that the sledge is a bit creaky in plastic. Yes, that's the point, Waggo. It's terribly creaky in plastic. But actually, the actual synth itself, if in a better box, it would be absolutely brilliant.
Oh,
And it
Sledge
it's
is
a
great.
great
Yeah,
synth.
I love the Sledge.
Yeah.
Creaky,
so
eh?
it's not going anywhere. But very, I mean, yeah, you lift it, it goes.
As long as it's not creepy. Creaky's okay, but creepy.
Well, it doesn't sit flat either. It's got a little bit of a bend to
It doesn't
it.
sit flat. No.
like Daren's Beatstep Pro. Daren's
I think mine's the same.
he knows all about things that don't sit flat.
Yeah, they don't sit flat. I've got a few of those.
Just put a shim under it. You're okay. Everything's fine.
No.
Cardboard. Yes.
The worst.
That's what credit cards are for.
The worst.
That's the best place to put them. Hide them.
Well, I can't find my
It's
credit
Cog's
card.
King
Damn, I
Kong.
can't buy that module. Yeah.
All right, boys, we're going to keep going because there's a lot more to get through. The next product is by Tubetec or Tubetec. This is the Brainstep controller. The Brainstep controller is actually a controller for a module that's already out there called the Brainstep. And I thought I'll just show you the video because the best thing to do is actually, because it actually shows you the Brainstep module. The whole reason why this exists is because of the other module.
Brainstep controller is an expander for our Brainstep module. It allows the direct, hands-on control of Brainstep's modulation parameters. The 25 sliders and 8 buttons are mapped to Brainstep's 16 envelopes and 8 LFOs. Additionally, the glide time can be controlled as well. When receiving data from the controller, Brainstep can show the currently changing value on its display. This behavior can also be turned off if desired. Brainstep controller has a layered architecture that allows the control of all 4 of Brainstep's tracks. With the 4 buttons on the right labeled TR1 to 4, you can select which track to control. Multiple selections are possible, which means you could change the envelope attack of track 4 and 3 simultaneously. Where LEDs are used to indicate a state, their colors reflect the state of multiple selected tracks. Brainstep controller can easily be connected to Brainstep via TRS MIDI. MIDI data coming into the controller's TRS input is merged with the controller data and sent to Brainstep. This way, no MIDI input is lost when using the controller.
Now, a couple of things there. Couple of things. First thing is, I mean, I think this is great. If you are an owner of a Brainstep module, one of the biggest benefits that you're going to get out of getting this is that you're going to be able to control multiple tracks at the same time. And that's probably the huge benefit here, which is something that you can't do. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but with the Brainstep, it's kind of like a menu divey type digital module,
Very deep.
which is quite difficult to manipulate. It's a cool module.
I've never heard of the Brainstep.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
a new
cool.
one on me.
It's pretty
Yeah.
What
mental.
actually is it? Is it a step sequencer?
No,
It's a sequencer that kind of goes into synthesis.
It's a
as well.
It's a synthy sequencer. It's like an all-in-one digital synth type module with a whole bunch of menu diving stuff in it. With
And
SD
it's got
card,
It's a computer.
4 tracks.
You know, it's
4 tracks. It's got a sequencer. It's got ARPs. It's got song modes. It's got it's all digital.
synthesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
Anyway,
yeah.
so the controller itself is €300 if you want to get that. The other thing that I wish that they did was utilize the ribbon cable connections between modules, and instead of us having to connect the MIDI in via TRS. Now, if you guys know that MIDI TRS is only literally going to be like 2 wires, really, isn't it? You know that it needs.
Yes, the minimum. Yeah, it's 2.
Yeah.
In fact, it's
So
often
they
better if
could
you
have
don't use
used the modular connection cable if they used the proper.
Well,
ribbon.
even they should have at least a header on the back of the unit. For,
Maybe they
for
do, I'm
MIDI,
not
I would
sure.
have thought.
Can I
should
show
have.
something?
Is it not a bit big?
That's all right.
You can, Brooksy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is it not a bit big?
A fairly recent acquisition is.
Ooh.
That, can you
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Is that a bus?
next to the Hermod.
The Hermod, yeah.
Yep. Is that a
is
bus?
a MIDI through TRS
Oh,
MIDI
okay.
through
Yeah.
in a two it's from Leipzig modular and it just means that using TRS cables within the Eurorack I can connect it to the bitbox mixer and then the Hermod I can it's really useful, really handy. It was about 80 quid, just for that sort of thing. But I agree with you about this particular module pairing. It seems odd that it's not bust on the back.
Yeah, underneath.
That would seem to make much more sense.
It's especially when you consider that you couldn't plug it into anything else. I mean, the actual controller itself isn't really gonna isn't really
to
planned
control any of the
for
modules, is it?
anything else. So it's kind of like
I'll just
Controller
show you
actually
guys.
reminds you of an SH32. It's a different color, but it has that same look of an SH32.
So these guys are based in Germany, by the way. If you haven't worked it out, but this is the Brainstep here.
So are they sort of basing it on the MC202? Is that the idea?
It has the similar sort of step sequencer style, like it's like a TR type sequencer, but it does go into some crazy stuff. It's got Euclidean and all, things like that.
Crap, yeah.
It's got drum samples in it, and So that, if you're wondering, that's what the Brainstep is, and it's kind of a bit of a crazy. Like, it's a bit of a crazy module, and some people absolutely
Pretty
love
nerdy module too.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so we got to keep going. Brooksy, hold that thought about what you just showed before too.
Okay.
Yeah, because there might be something coming up that you like. Next is this, which is absolutely really cool. In fact, why don't I actually just show you?
Amazing.
Why don't I just do this?
2HP, the smallest company in Eurorack.
Indeed. Size does
Thank
not
you.
count.
Stop.
AI
What does
generator?
it do? Well, it stops your audio in a slow, slewy kind of way. Kind of like this. Okay, that's already a lot of fun. Tape stop is a clock syncable tape effect for stopping your audio without skipping a beat. So let's pause for a minute and take a quick look at tape stop. Tape stop is an audio effect, which requires us to patch an audio signal in at the top of the module and out at the bottom of the module. Since we have audio passing through tape stop, we can slow down the audio by using trig. Pressing trig or sending it a gate signal will activate the tape stop effect. You'll notice our audio is still paused after pressing the trig button. This is because our trig toggle here is set to latch. We can deactivate the tape stop by pressing trig again. If you want the tape stop to deactivate when trig is released, switch the trig toggle down for momentary behavior. Something you might notice is that the audio doesn't pick up where it left off when the tape stop is deactivated. This is because the audio continues to run in the background while tape stopping. This is perfect for bringing the audio back in right when you want it to. We're also able to control how long it takes to tape stop using the lag knob. The range on this knob is dependent on the clock mode. When there's no clock signal present at the clock input, the range on the knob will be from instant up to 4 seconds long. When an external clock signal is patched into tape stop, the lag
Does a couple of other bits and pieces. I'm not going to sort of wait for the whole video to go through. You can, I think there's like a mix mode where you can actually still hear the audio playing and it still tape stops as well. So It's pretty useful sort of module. I think a lot of people will have fun with it. It's a fun module. It's only $149, and I don't know, I reckon people would like that sort of thing. You know,
It's a bit of an overused effect, to be fair. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I remember
Bit of
when I think it was it Cubase or Logic, I think, had the people discovered it, and then they realised that they could set the pitch to go down at the end of a audio clip by dragging an envelope curve over it or something in the end of it, and then everyone started using it in dance music tunes and stuff like that, and it was like, yeah, it just got like got overused.
They have
pretty
some
quickly.
other audio modules that are kind of more useful,
That's
like
not
a
fun.
freeze and a stutter kind of thing. Those are more fun.
Yeah, that'd
Those
be more
2HP
useful, wouldn't it, to have all of them?
I mean, the whole benefit of 2HP is it's really not taking up any of your space. You know, you'd put this right next to your mixer.
But they are a faff to get in and out.
They are a bit.
So
Yeah. Anyway,
And-
Yeah,
And
because
they
they'll be
tend to
quite
fall
long.
apart.
Boards can be long, so you can't put them in skiffs.
yeah.
I think some people would love this, and other people would probably skip it. But it's like anything, I guess. I actually thought it was pretty cool, and it's only, what did I say?
I have a bunch of stuff. I like
$149.
the 2HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to next, Brooksy. I did say this is cool. The Squarp
yes.
Instruments XP32. This is really
Whoa.
cool. This is the expander.
Yes.
And you know, it's actually pretty cool what they've done with this. It's like a matrix expander. And this is for the Hermod, which you've got, Brooksy, the sequencer, the Hermod Plus. It provides 32 additional assignable CV and gate outputs, allowing for extensive customization and control with the modules. And also, each output can also be configured to send gates, send note pitches, velocity, aftertouch, modulations, clocks, and even MIDI CCs, offering you a whole bunch of flexibility there. But also there's a wide voltage range from minus 10 volts to plus 10 volts, and it integrates obviously with the Hermod Plus, automatically recognized upon connection, and it features the high precision 16-bit DAX for accurate signal output. And there's also LED indicators on the module itself. You'll see that in a sec. And that sort of lets you know what sort of stuff goes on. It's a little bit on the pricey side. $530 is the price for this, but
It's more expensive than the box itself.
There's a lot of stuff going on that module. Let's just have a quick look. This is pretty cool how they do this.
Sound design, yeah.
It's like an action montage. Yeah.
Yeah. This is our life, guys.
It sounds just like that.
It does. Here we go. So it's changing them all to gates now.
That alone is really cool.
It's like Mr. Oizo.
Yeah.
Yay. This one
Some flat Eric
is-
action.
This one's doing modulation.
Whoa! Leave him out of this.
Daren.
So here comes the modulation. There we go.
Flats, is it? Yeah.
That's cool. I think that little noise was saying, "Buy it, buy it."
Oh,
So without that
Right.
expander,
cheap
you can
ones,
do
yeah.
some gates with the other parts, right? It's
Yeah.
just
to move it
a whole lot
up.
more.
Shall I just show you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
please.
get Brooksy's. Hang on, let me get that full screen for Brooksy.
Let me see if I can get it in the right place because I'm just holding it.
Wait, how long have you had this for, Brooksy? Not long, right?
A year.
Okay.
No, I've had this year. I mean, you can see on the right-hand side, you've got 8 sets of CV and gate outputs. Nice. So you can basically, use that to trigger, oscillators and envelope generators and all that sort of thing. You can have like 8 separate tracks that way. However, the HerMod itself has got built-in LFOs and envelope generators, which need to then be assigned to those outputs. So
you gobble those up pretty quickly, yeah.
So you could use them beautifully. I mean, the additional thing that this has is it's got 2 layers. So it's also got 8 MIDI tracks as well, which is again why that little module on the left of it is so cool. So this expander module, the expander module really means that you can just keep your standard CV and gate and then still have a load of triggers and modulation coming up. Like that, using one channel with 4 different triggers. Now that alone suddenly made me go, now that is, because if I want to,
that's like Electron. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
If I want to trigger drums from this, which is what I tend to do, the bottom 4, of the pairs, I'm just using as gates. So I'm using 4 gates out of that. I mean, as it happens, I've not got enough. Well, I've not got enough stuff in my system to be using 8 full CV gate tracks. So at the minute, it doesn't matter. But sorry, I'm going to move this around. Further down the line, I can simply see it as a way of sending out multiple triggers from one track rather than having to use 4 tracks. Yeah, which is great, and then also be able to much more comprehensively utilize the built-in LFOs and envelopes, because they are comprehensive. They're really good. I mean, it's amazing that HerMod sequencer. I know it's very intentional. You can build in randomization and stuff into it if you go into the sort of in inverted commas effects section, but it's really, really powerful. And the more I've used it, the more I really do appreciate how deep you can get with it. But this expander module at the best part of £500 is about the same price as the actual sequencer itself, and that was a shock. If it had been 200 quid, I'd have been like,
yeah, it's very boutique.
I've got to seriously think. Yeah, I know, because it's targeted only at the people that have ever bought the HerMod Plus.
Yeah,
I have no idea whether it will work with the previous models of the HerMod.
Quick question: how much did the Plus change from the original?
It's just for the Plus, I believe.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. Because I've got the original.
In terms of the actual surface,
that's when Andy's seen the original.
Yeah, the buttons and also the display is a much bigger OLED display.
Bigger display.
It's important upgrade.
Lots more features in it too.
It has got a lot in it. It's great.
Don't forget too, you can also do MIDI to CV on this as well, which I think if you go further into that video,
you can on the HerMod itself.
Yeah,
that's what it does. Yeah.
So the Pyramid, the Hapax, and the HerMod cover similar ground, or are they all very different?
They're similar.
Pyramid,
I think
Pyramid's similar ground, because Pyramid's the standalone, right, desktop thing.
Yeah.
And the HerMod is the eurorack, kind of like the eurorack version of it, but there's some things that are missing, and
Hapax is even bigger.
Hapax is bigger. That's that big. Oh, actually, it's here. I'll show you.
Standalone unit.
It's on his video.
Have you got one?
Oh, you have it?
No. That's on his video. He's got the Hapax on the left there.
Okay.
That thing, massive.
It's actually funny, Brooksy, that you got that, because I've got the voltage block and the Moleco Variegate 8 Plus, I think it is actually. Yeah, 8 Plus, and I'm actually because it's actually limited to what it can do as an 8-step sequencer. Even with the voltage block, I've actually been thinking about moving it on and getting the HerMod. And then I saw this little expander, because that was one of the only reasons why I didn't really completely dive into the HerMod, because I just thought it was a bit choked with the IO.
This is a way different kind of sequencer than the Variegate and the voltage block. It really is. It's much more like having like one of those old hardware sequences in your rack. You know, you can set your pattern length, record it. I have my key step hooked up to it via MIDI. I can just set and it will automatically CV gate it. So I can just click on the buttons. Each of the tracks has where am I pointing there? Has a button. So you select each channel by just hitting the button. So you can send the keyboard from one thing to the next thing to the next thing really quickly at the push of a button. It's cool. Really good.
Intuitive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I say there are a few little bits about it that are a bit head scratchy at times, and you think, sometimes how to erase a bleeding pattern when you've made a mistake. That was sometimes a bit of a head scratch, you know. But anyway, it comes recommended, you know. But I
really like it. I rate it.
Really intentional. If you've already got lots of things which do random stuff and, you know, generative things, that's not a sequencer for doing generative music. You know, that it is. I want to record 8 bars of a bass line.
Yeah,
and play it and quantize it.
Yeah, cool. Workhorse.
Which is more, in my opinion, it's more kind of deliberate type of style of sequencing. I mean, you could go with some of the poly-end products to do that generative stuff, and you know, and marbles and things like that can do that sort of stuff for you as well. So yeah.
Well, you may have noticed I bought the Behringer Chaos. I've not really got into that yet. Really, because Daren, you did a piece with the marbles that I found really inspiring, and I thought, I've got to get one of those eventually.
You could have always lent me marbles.
Well, speaking of marbles, we're going to be on today's show. We're going to be using the marbles.
Lost them.
We are going to be using the marbles. They're using the marbles.
I will have to catch that one up because I'm a bit overdue for legging it now. So I will have to.
All right,
have to jump ship. So nice to be back on again. Thanks for giving me a kick up the butt there, Ram.
See you again.
No worries, mate.
Good to see you,
Lovely
mate.
to have you, buddy.
I'll see you at some point.
Take care, Andy.
Right, take care, everyone.
Yeah,
See you guys.
don't be a stranger.
All right.
I'll see people at Synth East next Saturday. If anybody's at Synth East next Saturday, if you're going down, I will be there. Right.
Enjoy.
Cheers. Bye.
Norwich.
Bye. Take care.
Sale of the century.
All right. So he's paused the video now. He's left Zoom, by the way. So you guys know. I'm just going to put the chatties back in. There we go. Cool. Zoom is open, by the way, guys. So Brooskie, if you're wondering how he got in, he just clicked on that link and got into Zoom that way. And I've got my little chat bot every 10 minutes reminding people. So, all right, let's keep going. There's more. Wow, busy week. Make Noise announced this week, the Multimod. This is really interesting as well. Like, you were talking about generative stuff before. This is basically a generative modulation module, which is why it's called Multimod. And without even me looking at my notes, it's basically it takes a modulation input source and then it splices it to 8 different modulation outputs, and every single one of those modulation outputs can be manipulated with these controls. It's typical Make Noise style with their cool sort of graphics, and you know, some people look at it and go, "What the?" And I look at it and I go, "Yeah." So
between,
let's read. So basically, it transforms a single control into 8 distinct modulation outputs, utilizing the advanced DSP hardware. They're doing a lot of this stuff lately. It offers high-resolution processing with an impressive 20-volt peak-to-peak input and output range. Key parameters such as phase, spread, and time allow for intricate manipulation of the generated signals, enabling complex modulation patterns. Additionally, when no input is connected, you can actually even use the Multimod as an 8-channel LFO. So it provides really, really cool sort of versatility that way. There's a couple of other bits and pieces. For example, there's tempo and hold and reset, and there's a sort of like some playability controls on this. Have a little quick look at the video. We're not going to do 25 minutes of it, that's for sure. But we are going to do this little bit here because I think that kind of works well for us.
first of the new Universal Synthesizer System modules. The Multimod is the DSP superpowered NUSS mult, allowing us to derive many control signals from one. Multimod takes a single control signal and copies it 8 times, but further it modifies those copies by weighted adjustment of phase and speed, so the modulation is related to the source but not identical at each destination. From one control signal, we create many.
All right, before they go into massive, long, huge discussion about that, I'll let you guys watch the video. All the links for all the stuff that we show on the show are in the blog article, which automatically posts about an hour or so after the show has aired on the Ranzee.com website. So do make sure you check it out, including links to videos, links to images, actual images that we show on the show is there as well. So that way it's kind of like a little time capsule. You know, we freeze everything and keep it there. And hopefully people don't pull their videos down. It's the only thing I can't control over. Anyway, Multimod from Make Noise, available now, $349 US. I kind of feel it's got a bit of what was that delay thing module that I used to have? I got rid of Memiaphon. I kind of feel like it's got a bit of that DSP logic in it, and then it's manipulating that into CV as opposed to audio. That's the kind of gist I got with it. I know a little bit about Make Noise, yeah. So you know, it's kind of similar to Marbles in a sense, because you're taking a clock or a modulation signal in, and then it's doing some kind of weird things with it, and splitting it out.
Seemingly unpredictable, but actually predictable results.
Yeah,
out the other outputs.
It's like a more elaborate version of my triple sloss module, where you can have 3 individual things with variable speeds and all off in a single input.
Even the Batumi that you get from Chaos Devices can do kind of wanky, crazy stuff like that. So yeah, it's not the only thing out there that does this, but I think it's the Make Noise take that they, you know, like I said before, people look at the Make Noise modules and some people just look at it and go, I can't understand what, like it's just, it's too busy, it's too crazy looking.
Yeah, it blocks people or it sucks them in.
Yeah.
Quite polarizing, these guys.
Yep. The only thing I would suggest is, you know how when you get into eurorack, most people say, oh, you've got to have a Make Noise maths module.
Maths, yeah.
If you don't have a maths module, you haven't really lived the eurorack dream yet. Once you get your head around a maths module, you then kind of can understand a little bit about the Make Noise sort of landscape. And generally speaking, their logic sort of does kind of fit in with that design methodology. They haven't really sort of ventured too far away from that. So
even if you know their stuff like the Telharmonium, you got to wrap your head on that thing. That thing's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think
they break their own rules sometimes.
I don't think they were that successful with that one. To be fair,
I like it a lot, but it's really tricky. It's not, you can't just plug and play and go, oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It is. What else have we got? We got some more. Now, this is where it starts getting a bit crazy. So the next thing is the Paripi Destroyer, which is a little bass synthesizer from Japan. Cool. It's developed by Digilog, which is a Tokyo sub-brand of Crazy Synth Kids. And these are kind of all these little sort of crazy little sort of electronic devices that fit a little AA battery in it. It offers a range of features, you know, like the monophonic virtual analog sound.
It's like Bastel stuff.
Yeah, 16-step sequencer on it too.
Purple.
Anyway, let's have a little look at the vid, because I think this is kind of cool.
And it's bass.
A little 303.
It's in your face, and it's purple.
Here we go. And this that module on the left is not related, but he's using it as a drum. effects built into it.
Yeah, because Pocket Operas are run for their money.
Yep. Wait till you see the price. You'll just about fall off your chair. By the way, that little module on the left, it's the Drum Mint 83. They're actually completely separate sort of business. You can still get those as well if you're interested in that, by the way. But it's not particularly this that we're showing here. This is $18 US for the little bass synth.
What?
$118 US. It's insane, isn't it?
Pocket operator.
Instant buy. Synth.net is the link is all in the blog article. You guys can all check it out in a sec. There's actually
I know
three.
a purple person might want one.
There's 3 products in that video that you probably didn't see. One was the little MixSplit, which I'll show you in a sec. But the next thing you didn't see is he recorded the whole thing on this little USB-C audio interface. You're just about going to spit your Wheaties out in a minute when I tell you the price of this. This is a compact USB-C audio interface. It has stereo input and output with the 3.5mm connections. It has volume and mute controls. It has an input trim dial, direct monitor switch, USB bus powered, driver free. It's USB class compliant, and it has a broad device connectivity because of that. iPads and Macs, PCs, Androids, everything. And also, it's actually pretty decent quality. It's 32K 44.1 and 48 at 16-bit. Very, very, very lightweight. It measures only 39mm, Daren, 54mm in length, 11mm in height, and weighs only 25 grams. And you're sitting there, you don't want to spit your Wheaties out in a minute, $92 for this. So that's pretty cool. And that's also from the same guy. And you would have noticed the MixSplit in the video, which is this. It's a little passive mixer with you can use it as a wire splitter, as well as a little, mono × 2 converter. And it's all line level sort of stuff. You got to be careful with these things though, because there's no sort of active linear amplifiers or anything in them. But this is only $20. This thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So all from the same dude. I sort of grouped them all together because the video sort of showcased the whole lot. Even the other product was in there as well. Yeah, a couple of little sort of muck around stuff.
A little person's part bench.
Yeah, the Paripi Destroyer. It is a bit of a destroyer.
Out of your pocket. Play with it. Put it back in your pocket again.
I did like it. I thought it was pretty cute.
Track on his album.
Pretty cute.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that little bunch of stuff, and I think I've got one more thing to show you guys. Hey, look at that. Next is this from OG Synth Design. These are 2 little products. At the moment, they're bundling them into one. You can get them. It's a 6-voice polysynth and a 6-step sequencer. And you notice that they're both powered by 9-volt batteries. That's because they are. And these are one of those things where you buy them, you get the circuit board as is, and so if you want to put it in something, you'd have to sort of design or 3D print. But there would be some sort of group of people that are probably already doing it. Anyway, it is pretty much what you can see. It is a 6-voice polysynth, which has got envelope controls. It has dual modes. You can switch between key mode or drone mode. It has customizable oscillators. You can control the frequency of each voice independently. It has filtering, where it's got I'm pretty sure this is all digital, by the way. It's got a resonant filter with cutoff. Don't know if you can see it in the picture, but it is labeled. There is a starve pot, which I like the name of that. Something, it reduces the power from the battery. So that's what they're talking about. They're starving the voltage. And what it does is it actually, it does sort of unpredictable, glitchy things to the synth.
Exactly.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
There's a Eurorack module that does that.
Yeah.
Well. Starves power to your whole Eurorack.
Well, you can do that by over moduling your.
Well, yeah, there
Eurorack
is
as
dropping
well.
a cigarette in. Yeah, that,
I did that already. I had overpowered
Coke,
one of my
yeah.
cases.
Spilling coke into your rack. Now the sequencer, which is on the left, it's a little 6-step gate sequencer, but you can actually do 3 steps or 4 or 5 as well. And active control, toggle each step. There's a clock rate control, and there's integration is by that little ribbon cable. So obviously it's built for this. Now you can get both of these things together for 150 quid right now on Etsy.
wow.
Bang. Do you guys want to see the little video? Actually, there's a little video.
Sure.
I should probably show you the video. It's the same dude, actually, isn't it? Yeah, it is, because it's the same background. Here we go. It's got 2 of them now.
Yeah.
Nah, one doing a drum.
150 quid, why not?
Microtonal.
It's not some sort of,
That's the
some
drone
very
thing, I
micro.
think, that he switched on the other one.
Yeah, but the tuning is very microtonal, as I said.
That's the filter on the right. Step sequencer now. Anyway, not the greatest video in the world, but you guys got the idea.
Nah.
Although, Ian, you should try some microtonal with the Terra at your gig and see if people
I will.
revolt or not.
Yeah,
I'm throwing beers at you.
I'm not
and
going to do
stuff.
it this first gig, but I am going to explore the microtonal stuff. Yeah, certainly. Just
Now-
back to that, because in the chat they were saying about the MixSplit thing.
Yep.
This will do the same job.
Oh yeah,
in
it's a
stereo.
Y
Those are
splitter.
good. The Belkin.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's they're
Although-
£7, not 20 quid.
I actually took a Belkin like that. I added the little headphone amplifiers from Amazon and
Yeah.
made a portable mixer with proper
Yeah.
pots
Yeah.
on it. So
Yeah,
Now,
and
but-
the trouble is you have to mix it elsewhere on that. But
Best way to do this is this way, guys. While we've got you and I've got your attention, the next key word for the synth quiz is shape.
Dun, dun.
I forgot.
shape.
Shape.
Are you guys writing them down?
Two then.
Yes.
I'm writing them down.
Have to.
Right. I'm deliberately picking words that should give it away. So, we'll see how we go.
By the way, I bet shape is misused on this one as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
I'm not going to say anything.
I'm
Anyway,
just kidding.
gosh, we got through that. There was a lot of products this week. A lot of Eurorack, I know, but the Eurorack, I feel like the Eurorack stuff that we showed this week was actually some really, really interesting things. 16 different things we showed this week. I mean, if you include those last
Well, a lot of it
3
wasn't
things
being
that
shown elsewhere. That's the thing as well.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a fan of Eurorack, but the fact is that it wasn't being shown
Cup of
elsewhere.
tea?
Hey, my tea's arrived.
were- Hey!
Hey.
I'll have one. Thanks, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
Yeah, everybody's saying
Hello,
hello.
yeah, and I'm saying hi. Where
Hello.
am I?
You're
Am I
there.
on it? Oh,
Just-
where am I? Oh, I'm there. Hi, guys.
Thanks, darling.
There you go. Okay.
Waving.
Bye.
Ian, you got
Toodles.
tea and no crumpets? What's your problem? Come on, where are the crumpets?
I've no crumpets today.
We're not going to do crumpets today, Andy.
No. No.
Okay, so I mean, out of that stuff, I definitely got excited about a few of those things.
It now.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. It's there's quite a lot there. I'm not going to go back through it again because
I've got to say, my purple little my mate.
Yeah, the purple thing's quite cute. Sounded
The purple thing? Yeah.
Yeah,
Not that thing.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me,
Oh, the granular synth was interesting as well.
Actually,
granular
the
module.
granular. If I'm gonna pick Eurorack, it would have to be the granular synth for me.
yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Although a bit
The Hermod
pricey.
add-on was cool if you have one. That's a cool idea.
I tell you what, if the Squarp thing was cheaper, it would be a no-brainer. Or maybe if they offered it as a bundle when you get the Hermod Plus and that as a bundle, and you got them both separate, as opposed to separately.
They may do that eventually.
Yeah,
of course. Because
I mean, it is very expensive when it comes to Australia. I'm probably looking at about $2,000 Australian to get the two products combined. It's a lot of money for a Eurorack.
That's more than was it the not Cascadia, the Intelligel
voltage block
one,
and variegate. Yeah.
No, I meant the whole synth. The Intelligel.
Oh yeah, it is more than that. Yeah.
And that was already going to cause you difficulties in import duties. So
that is true. Yeah. I mean, some
at
of
least
these
you could split these 2.5.
Some of these products, it's kind of weird. Like, you'd know this, Chris. If you buy some stuff overseas, then obviously you've got to be careful with that import duty thing. But sometimes it's actually easier just to get it through a distributor here, because by the time you look at postage and exchange rates and all that sort of stuff, you might save $10, and you think, what's the problem?
Yeah, quite often after I've done a really heavy research into the difference in pricing, which is a minefield I'll talk about in a moment, but yeah, as I said, you kind of go, now, was that amount of effort I put in time worth the difference that I'm going to save here, or could I just... At some point in time, you just got to, unless it's a really suspiciously high price, I usually just go with the local.
I would always choose to buy through it.
But there is that as well. I do, although some stores less than others, but I do kind of like to support local. I like them to still exist.
Yeah,
I felt foul of the Ambient Zero by ordering it online, and I've got a bill for £60 import duty, which I haven't paid yet. I'm trying to avoid paying it, but
you're not going to
I
get
bought
your
some
products.
Toma in Germany.
They hold you to ransom.
Oh, I know.
No one's immune from the duty stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So it'll have to be paid at some point.
Let's close all these videos down off my computer, because otherwise I've got 2,000 tabs open. And we'll get ready for the next segment, which I will do right about now. Ooh. What have we got here, guys?
Ooh.
No one's ever heard of MP3s, I guess. So.
Well, no one's ever heard of an audio, cable.
Loading tape.
This one, maybe on the sort of borderline of being a scam. $200 for a cassette. That you could like Andy just said, you could pretty much just download the WAV file and upload it into your Juno 60. Hey, Daren. See, that's how Daren
I've got a
puts
6, so I
patches.
can't.
Yeah, I have a 6. We can't do this.
Oh, you can't do that. It's only the 60.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not missing anything, guys. I've got a Korg ESX 800, and it's a pain in the butt doing the tape stuff on the back.
Yeah, I did this with a DW8000.
But it's easy. It's easy, right? You just have to keep on adjusting the volume until it starts working. It only takes about 30 or 40 goes.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now, I mean, if you thought that was a bit
obviously
scammy,
never going to crash.
Boys, if you thought that was a bit scammy, have a look at this. This is a Sequential Circuits Prophet 600.
What the hell's been done to that?
Dirty Harry's.
Like, better part of £1,700. Look at that.
It is dirty.
It is dirty.
That's been out in Kent's backyard.
That's been in the
Looks like it was a Mount Pinatubo when the ash cloud went over.
What?
Yeah.
What are you on about? Where?
Even the graphics, even the graphics on the panel looks warped. So I suspect the whole It couldn't be, could it? That would be a metal panel.
Guys, can you believe this is actually still live on Reverb? I can,
Wow.
because it is. Here it is. Let's have a closer look.
Crazy.
Wow.
Oh, it's just an optical illusion. It's the actual dirt making it look like an uneven.
Please, people, if you do buy this, don't lick it. Do not lick it.
Is it somebody just
We've
pour
got
acid
you've
over
got to
their
lick it
keyboard
before
or
you
something?
send it.
It doesn't have LSD on it at all. It's not LSD. It's
No.
another acronym.
Listeria is what it's got. lots of.
Hepatitis B is the acronym. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
should
god.
have the guy scrape it from a
that-
microscope channel.
Do you
You'd be
think
seriously
someone's
tempted to use a
found
high-pressure
this in a
water
dumpster? I reckon.
Yeah.
or
it
in
looks
the or
Oh,
at the
yeah.
edge of a lake
nasty.
in the reeds.
Oh, they were magnet
'Cause
fishing.
look, in the natural environment, the discarded probe.
Oh, that were magnet fish.
Yes, actually, that's true. Normally we get
That's what
bicycles,
they've
but
been
this time
doing.
we got a Profit 600.
Darren's been watching too many of those Facebook reels. Dear.
Magnet fishing. Oh god.
Look what I found.
All right, what else have we got? Have we got any more
It
scammy
might have
stuff?
been a little kid. Mum,
Oh,
Mum,
I
look
think
at
this might be scammy as well, people. I've hit the jackpot with scams this week.
Jesus.
God, I should have saw mine for more than I did then. Oh, hey, I missed out there big time.
And it's
Was it
still
at least used
available
by
on
somebody
Reverb.
famous?
Let's have a look at
Does
the
it have
photos.
any,
Geez, that's a big close-up of a knob there, Darren.
It's a very lovely knob. It's worth taking a close up of.
does it have
Yeah,
any
it's
famous
not a purple
DNA in it?
one,
Maybe,
is it?
maybe that would help.
Said no female ever. Right.
Getting it to my face.
If you like your gold-plated polyend tracker, here it is here for 30,000 Australian dollars, 15,000 pounds.
place-
It's like that gold
You want
Moog
it
that's out
solid?
there, the mini Moog.
It's looks a bit woody.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
that's what I should have
spared
done.
no expense with that label. Looks like he's
Yeah.
printed it on the Canon.
I could have made so much more money out of mine by doing that.
Oh well, he beat you to the idea.
He did actually.
What else have we got? Have we got any more? No, this I don't know. This may not be a scam. This one, I just thought this one was interesting, and that's the DX one for
DX1.
200,000 Australian dollars, 100,000 pounds.
So £100,000.
Yeah,
I mean, can't never know for sure, but it sounds about right, really.
yeah. I mean,
It's getting up there, right?
considering there was only a small number of these in existence, it's pretty insane. But yeah, it's actually still available on Reverb. You can get it. This one is in Zug in Austria. Do we have anyone in the show from Austria? I thought we had someone regularly in the chat from Austria. I can't remember his name now. Well, shout out to him anyway for me forgetting your name. Anyway, that's it. That's it there.
Looks in good nick. Just looking good nick.
What's happened, right, is he's seen Behringer are going to make it.
Yeah. Get rid quick.
I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to make 100,000 quid on this schmackers. Yeah. What
Wait
else
till
we
the
got?
BX one comes out and people have scammy prices for those.
I think I've got one more. I do, and that's the Joe Mustard Toubon, the ABIE 50.
I covered this on 6 Oscillators with Eddie. This is the weird one. Paul McCartney's actually playing this in some pictures.
This is a weird one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think
Swings
it's.
about.
I don't know
I've
if it's
seen this
scammy
before.
on the price on this one, guys. I don't think it is.
They're very rare.
Yeah. So, but this is also
And the
for
scale is
sale.
off too. Those keys are much bigger than they look.
Yeah. Hey, hang on. Just back up a sec. Second
trusted reverb seller.
photo. If you see a photo like that says "I'm a trusted reverb seller," and you've got that as your second photo, maybe not.
I think I'm a trusted
Insecure,
reverb seller, but
Yeah.
I haven't got one of them photos.
I'm a trusted reverb seller as well.
Yeah.
Sure,
What you do is that you do
I'm a trusted
everything right for the
YouTube.
first month. You take a screenshot and then you do everything bad for the rest of your.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just keep on recycling the same photo.
It's got secure packaging, guys.
6 layers.
Wow.
Corners and edges are additionally protected.
Ain't no hackers getting into that.
This device is packed into
Secure.
boxes, 1 of 2. And then 2 cardboard boxes, very thick and sturdy.
Gosh, truth.
Hello, I know how to pack things.
And hang on, wait. Let's have a look at the shipping price. What's 3?
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's $300 Australian for shipping, because he's got friggin' 400 kilos worth of boxes.
Boxes, yeah.
That is hilarious.
However, something rare like that, you don't want to arrive messed up. So just taking precautions at least.
Oh, they were good this week. I like those ones. A few scammy ones. If you want to buy a cassette for your Roland Juno 60. It's stupid. It's almost as bad as those. What did I show I showed it a few years ago. The Korg Odyssey, I think it was. The Korg Odyssey, which is the 80% remake size of the original. And someone had put the printed manual up on Reverb or eBay or something, and they wanted $200 for it. And you could just download. I think, Ian, you remember this. We were talking about how you could just download it from the website and print it out yourself.
If you're a hardcore, like you want originals, there are people who want the original everything.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It is so stupid.
There are people who
I think I've got a roller
buy
MIDI.
those.
I've got a roller MIDI manual up for sale from the 80s. I think I've got it for 12 quid or 10 quid, something like that, which is probably about its right price. If you really want that sort of stuff, you know.
Mind you, though, if
Korg
people
and Yamaha, you can download all the manuals from everything.
Ian, if you gold plated your Poly N tracker,
I know, I'm so
you
jealous.
printed out all your Korg manuals and you put them up on eBay and charged 100 quid for them, you'd be a very wealthy man. Let me tell you.
And make sure you put the green ticks in the titles, because the green ticks are very.
Let's just go back to the green ticks.
Green ticks, and
very
I'm
hit with the young
trusted seller.
The young generation. Oh yeah, you got to have the trusted seller. Yep, hang on. Let's just.
There we go.
Really
that's where I'm going wrong.
There it is, there, guys.
Makes the list.
Screenshot your show right now. This is the template on how to be a reverb seller. Just here. This is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
By the way, go on eBay, look up synth brochures, all the ones you ever get free in the stores. People collect those going back to the 80s and 70s.
I actually like those. They're really cool.
They are very fun. Yeah.
I've still got. I've got the Korg, the early Korg ones from the early 80s, and the Yamaha ones.
I used to drool over them. I'm like, I can't afford this. I can't afford this. I can't afford this.
Yeah. I've got the one with the DX1 in, actually.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
The original
sell it,
DX1.
It's worth a lot.
Anyway, boys, what did you think of this week's Price Watch?
May well. Brilliant.
Well, I love the magnet fishing and the
magnet fishing.
That filthy keyboard is amazing.
Yeah,
it was. Yes,
that was actually worse than the one you got scammed with, Ranzee. That one from the dumpster.
Yeah,
indeed, I got scammed. I'm an idiot. I'm publicly shamed. Speaking of being publicly ashamed. Your third and final keyword, you can fast forward and rewind the video and look for that little stinger if it helps, but I didn't do it for the other two, so bad luck. The last third and final word is motion.
Oh.
It was funny. Last week someone said, what were the other two words? And I'm like, bad luck.
Yeah.
Rewind back. You've got the 3 words now. Yes. So let's see if there's any guesses coming in yet. Ooh, yes. Ian's thinking. I can tell. Ian's thinking right now.
You can tell. Yeah. I'm looking at the words and thinking, I have no clue.
Doesn't start on a good note either.
Yeah.
All right.
I can think of.
Apparently, I give that manual that DX1 brochure to Rob. I've completely forgotten. So I can't sell it. So Rob can sell it and make a fortune.
Okay, so if you do the guess, make sure you say synth quiz guess or synth quiz and then colon and then you guess, because I have no idea if you guys are just firing off names of synths in the chat. I don't even know if you're just talking to each other or what. Just make sure you label it somehow so that I can find it. All right. Speaking of synthy stuff, let's get into Saturday Sonority, which is pretty much Ask Us Anything. Guys, don't forget you can jump onto Zoom. Yep, you can do that. You can tap your cup like Ian's doing. What I thought we'd do this week, guys, is I said on the video thumbnail thing that let's test, and I don't know, there was a picture of a Mordax data on there, and I don't know. I don't think we could connect it up, but I don't think we're going to do that. It's a little bit boring, and I think you guys have been treated with a few videos on my channel during the week for those sort of things anyway. So, but what we will do is we'll head on down to the, I don't know if it's going to go there now, and I thought I'd set up a little bit of fun with the Intellijel Sealegs. And what we've got is, I can zoom out a little bit for you guys. So we've got the marbles here on the left, the Sealegs, we've got the Planet 2, which we're going to use as a modulation source, and over on the far right, you can't really see it, but that's basically it's Cow Synth Rings clone. It's a Ranzee, yeah. But we don't really need to see those because that's not really what we're about. What we're going to talk about today is just playing around with some sort of way to manipulate sounds through a module like the Sealegs. You don't have to use the Sealegs. You can use other types of delay modules and stuff. And then as long as it's got some sort of CV control input that you can manipulate some of its parameters, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely love Sealegs. It's like nerding out on delays, basically. But in this particular patch that I've got now, is we're actually going to use the Digi delay, and the Digi delay on this can get really kind of bit crushy and low bit ratey, and you can do that with the color control here, and I'll show you guys. So let's get Ableton cranking up, and we'll get some sort of. There we go. You guys can hear that?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you guys can hear that it's a stereo type effect delay, and we can control the the sounds. Let's just keep it like a little sort of marimba type sound. Anyway, I've got the Planet 2 plumbed with the XY connection into the time and width, and we can kind of manipulate this a little bit. We can speed this clock up a bit too.
That begs to be recorded there.
Alright, so I want to show you what the color does. You can freeze that stuff. Let's record that.
Very granular sounding.
There we go, now that's playing back that recording. And we can add in a bit of feedback. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh! Oh! How's that for a bit of fun, guys?
Yeah, it's cool.
Bit of manipulation
Weirdness.
of weirdness. Yeah. There's some other things you can do, obviously, with delays, but I mean that whole sort of pushing the digital side of a delay effect can lead to a bit of fun, I feel. Patching it is kind of also the trick too, sort of knowing what to do with some of the inputs and outputs and stuff like that. I guess that this particular module does also have some other cool features too. Like, for example, it does have this mod knob here, and it does have an envelope follower. It has a positive and negative envelope follower on here as well. And we may be able to do something with that. And I feel like, where are we? We could modulate the delay time and creating like a pitch sort of warble sound. But this particular time, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into BBD. So don't forget, this is a digital module, right? So it's not actually a real analog BBD. It emulates BBD. So now I just switch it across to BBD. Let's get some marbles generating some stuff again. Let me just change this sort of timbre a bit so you guys aren't getting sick of that.
What's your source? Using rings?
Yeah, I'm using rings. And it's using marbles to generate the sounds.
It's like a crazy fast wind chime.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take out these controls. I just don't need to take them out. I can just actually zero the... Alright, now we are going to muck around with some time, and we'll go to a low time. So we're getting that warble now. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's lovely.
So we could, I think it's the depth that we could control that with. So we could bring maybe one of these across. And modulate that.
It's like the beautiful part of a movie nightmare sequence before it gets all crazy.
And now we should do things like this. We're losing the original signal, and it's all full wet now. And now we're going to freeze it.
Now it's like sample and hold.
We can go with a bit of W and F. Wow and
Can you do
flutter.
stuff like this with Magneto? Have you used Magneto?
Yeah. Don't forget too, this has also got a filter. So it's got a high pass and a low pass filter. So that's the low pass. That's the high pass. And slowly bring back in.
Now it's getting a little jar-like.
Yes, you're getting the rainforest with birds in the background.
What we could do, guys, now is I've just noticed that we've got a few inputs on here, right? And we've definitely got A, B, C, D, which corresponds to the A, B, C. And at the moment, I've got this thing set to X, Y. So I can put this onto A, B, C, D, take off X, Y. And we can just put these into random spots. It doesn't really matter. I'll grab a couple more. Running out of blue, but no matter. We can put maybe put A into the time and put that up, and we'll put B into the width, which kind of does weird stuff, and this one here is D, and I think we'll put D into color. And let's get all these attenuators up so they're on max. And now we'll put a different sound in because you guys are getting sick of that sound. So I'll just explain how this attenuator works. So basically the center of the joystick heading out in any of the letters, so A, B, C, D, is basically going to increase the CV, right? So D, as we remembered, was color. So you can hear the color. And then B is the width, A is the time. So let's go. Record this.
I haven't used my planer 2 for a while. How many seconds do you get on the stick record? I forgot.
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
Can't remember the exact amount of time. So as you use the wet mix, you can just bring out some of that sound back into it slightly, so it's just tinkling in the background. So it brings you back to reality. If some of these are a bit too crazy, like the depth, you can just back it off a bit here. You can add noise in. Phrog is like a reverb.
Ah, yes. So smudge. Smear.
Now I've stopped all input going into that now. So nothing's going into it. Just max all these out again.
feedback on that get wild, or is it tame? Or does those zingers?
Interesting stuff, eh? So there you go. I mean, the thing to pick up on this is that the sound going into it is just this very, basic sounding sort of sequency thing.
Yeah, you get something.
But it just ends up being
wildly
nothing
different.
like that, doesn't it? It just ends up being this really
It's transformative.
So, Ian, I know you like that sort of weirdy, sort of soundy,
absolutely
vibey
do.
stuff.
Yeah.
Ian's getting ready to buy. Here it comes.
I just think you get yourself a delay pedal. That doesn't have to be a modular thing. Get yourself a delay pedal that's got a lot of control over the little different parameters. It's something that you can get to quite easily without having to go, menu diving into it. Some of the ones that come off the top of my head that I like is the Roland's got this series, or the Boss have got this series called the DD500. It's a really, really good delay pedal, and they've got some algorithms.
The RC5, it's just a looper, but I've got what delay pedals have I got? Apart from the Behringer ones, I've got an NUX reverb and delay pedal, which I like a lot, and I've used that a lot live. That's got a shimmer function, which I also like. Microcosm might be used with this.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks.
Yep,
that's the plan. And although the reverb on the microcosm isn't great.
And my old cheap Casio days, that's all I could do is cheap guitar pedals to make them sound good, because I just had horrible sounds on there until I could buy real synths.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things I was thinking of doing is maybe...
Have you got a habit? Chase Bliss habit?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, right. I could have sworn you had that. Yeah.
No.
Right, I thought you had a
Stuff's
habit.
good but expensive.
I've got
well, with tariffs going on, we might not be able to get them.
We don't want 17.
Well, we got tariffs coming too, guys. So,
Aye.
just wait.
What we might do now is I'll head over to the PTZ and I'll show you what I'm doing.
Cosmosis. I've got the Cosmosis.
This is a good. Is that Chase Bliss?
Pigtronic. And that's reverb.
Right.
So, zoom in, you little bastard. There we go. So what I'm going to do is it's a bit dusty there, isn't it? I'm going to put this cable in here, which is it's hard to see with the PTZ, but all this strip along here is actually outputs that are through the ADAT that I can get into through Ableton, right? So in Ableton, I can go into Ableton here, and you can see I've got a synth coming in here, but it's going into the ES8 port 1 here. So and then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring that. It's just a routing thing. I'm going to bring that into the Sealegs through this cable here. So hopefully, with a bit of luck, we should hear a chorded synth. And now we bring
There's some skinny puppy stuff there.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff happening. All right. Just wanted to bring that back to some sort of normality, and then we can get the delay happening now. And then we can bring a ping pong. This is on a really kind of long delay, right? Can make it really slow now. This depth and color is responding to this modulation here. Sorry, the rate and depth, what am I saying? Sorry, not depth and color. So this is a wow and flutter. So we should probably flick it up to tape, right? We get some crazy sounds out of this thing. Just really crazy stuff. Just this random, just bizarre stuff going on. Bring the feedback up and it starts to go nasty. I'm hardly playing anything on the keyboard, by the way. Just every now and then I might touch something. There we go. Once you get it, you pick it and you can freeze it. And then we can start mucking around with this stuff again. Here we go. Sometimes it's a bit of hit and miss. There we go. Enough of that. It's fun though. It's like I said. Sometimes you can get some really cool things. I think the earlier one I was doing with the digital ones was a bit more rhythmic. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't think I even got to the stage where I was going to look at the envelope follower. But you know, using the envelope follower, and there's, like I said, there's all these different other modulation sources, and even with those modulation sources, with the depth and the rate, you can actually send them out and then sync them into other modules too. So say, for example, you've got, you might want to run this as a mono effect as opposed to a stereo effect. You might want to run it into something else like a filter, or you might want to run it into a phaser or something that's got some sort of you know, filtery type effect, and you can use that modulation source that's on the module to actually drive any of the controls on it. So that's got a modulation output up the top here, and this is the modulation selection. So you've got all these different controls, and these are kind of like sample and hold, and then you've got a square wave, sine wave, sawtooth, triangle, ramp, and they all send out via that as well. So in a way, you could kind of, and in fact, you could even bring that modulation source into the planar 2, and it can use that as a mode source. I don't know if you guys know, but this module is really, really complex if you want it to be. So you can bring it in, and then that, in a way, it's kind of feedbacking into itself, which would be pretty crazy. It's I don't think it'll be as cool as what it sounds like it might
As
be.
it sounds, yes.
Yeah. But you could do some crazy stuff like that.
That's good stuff. That last thing you played sounded like something out of Tangerine Dream's Rubicon. So
Jim Clue is waiting in Zoom apparently.
Oh, good. Sorry, I was a bit busy, Jim.
Sorry, that's the pedal that I was talking
Jim,
about.
you're on. I'll bring you in.
The reverb and delay pedal, and it's got like 3 algorithms: 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s delay, and then a whole load of whoops. Sorry, if I could find out where the camera was, obviously, but it's a really, really good pedal. Easy to operate when it's live, and it sounds really, really cool. You know, the algorithms are pretty good, and you can add other things into it. It's got a USB. You know,
awesome, like it. Jim's here. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Jim.
I'm good. Can you hear me? Okay.
Good day, Jim.
We can hear you. Nice of you to join us on
Hi,
Zoom.
Jim.
Good to see you, matey.
Yes. How's everything going with you?
All right. Yeah, I've been busy up till this weekend really. So I've been trying to get my sort of new mini album out the door. So that's due for release officially Tuesday, but I'm doing like a listening party on Bandcamp tomorrow night after Jamie's show. That'll be about 8 p.m. Should hopefully be on Jamie's show as well tomorrow to talk about stuff.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good to see
shameless
Jamie.
plug.
It's good to see Jamie back up in action too, by the way, guys. Too.
Yeah, totally.
Because we've missed him.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed his Lindrum videos and his Wave videos as well.
Yeah.
Recently, there's the recent ones he's done. So actual shows.
That Wave sounds really good.
Yes, very evocative of that time and the people who used it. Took me back.
Yeah.
It's Jim that's got a Chase Bliss, Ian. I remember seeing that on the...
I've got 2 now. So they did this like mystery box thing for Christmas.
Yes. Yeah, I heard that.
Where it was like sort of, I think €300, so about 250 quid, and they'd send you a random pedal of theirs, which, you know, considering most of their pedals are about 400 quid, it was just a steal anyway. So yeah, and there was a chance you could get every new pedal of theirs for life as well, and or just more than one pedal.
What the hell?
But even if you only just got the one pedal, you were still getting a bargain. I got a Mood Mark II, which was really decent. But then I also,
what I was looking at, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Although I'm still sort of finding my feet with it. It's in my new live rig. But I also got I bought somebody else's mystery box pedal. I got the Clean, which is like a creative compressor, which is just like you can do wild stuff with that. Saying it's a compressor just really doesn't do it justice. But yeah, that's cool.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen it. I couldn't think when I'd seen it.
Yeah.
I one of the things I love about pedals and similarly Eurorack modules is that you can just nerd out on some of the effects. Like, you know, it gives you sort of access to things that you probably wouldn't normally, you know, like for example, you know, just sort of dumb it down a bit. Say you had a chorus pedal that you've had for years, and all you had was just some sort of rate knob on it, and you were kind of frustrated because that's all you had. But then some people bring out these other sort of chorus pedals where you could control a whole bunch more, you know, that the Bucket Brigade delay chip lets you sort of get access to. And then you've got a lot more sort of interesting sort of sonic exploration with it. And the pedal manufacturers that do that should be, it's harder to do. It's so easy just to whack one control on it and then look at my chorus pedal. But to add all that extra sort of functionality, it makes it a lot more complex for them to design. I love that.
It takes a certain braveness, doesn't it, to allow your gear to go out and not always sound brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the conventional wisdom is make sure that every position in the knob sounds great. It's like, that's kind of, thank God we've kind of moved away from that.
I know. It's almost like the perfect 80s. Like we always look back at the 80s, and we do love, there's so many things we love about it. But then again, I feel like we've grown up since that. We've learnt. It's cool. Those sounds are cool. We
had tape hiss in the 80s, so
yeah,
that was very present.
Do you remember like they were just completely going gangbusters over that gated snare? I think that was probably their most favorite thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the gated snare.
Toms as well.
Yeah.
Well, there was the SSL listen mic compressor, wasn't there? That gave you that really compressed snare sound. Right.
I also used it. I think they used a lot for tom fills, the talkback mic.
Yeah.
It's almost as if it's like a low pass gate, isn't it? In a way.
Well, it's kind of I was going to say it's almost like a speaker emulation or software. Remember that software that emulated lots of different speakers and microphones and.
Oh yeah, Dear Reality or
something?
Spectrophone, yeah. I remember that.
But I remember, yes, reamping, similar thing.
Yeah. Do you guys want me to keep doing stuff like that on the show where I'm noodling about like a complete pleb?
Of course,
yeah.
Absolutely, why not?
Absolutely.
Making a complete fool of myself.
I had no idea the Sealegs could do that. So it's yeah.
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah,
Ian's going to get one.
To demonstrate.
It's not a cheap module. I warn you guys. It's not a cheap module.
That and the other granular module. Maybe. No, I'm not. I am not.
You're not.
Divorce me. It's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, guitar pedals with all the stackable, patch them together.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
It's a gateway to modular. So
I know exactly. So every time I go out now, I've got half a dozen bloody guitar pedals.
Yeah, actually, interestingly,
same here.
One thing you guys will find out very quickly once you sort of do get into Eurorack, preaching to most of these people has converted it already, but this is more for Ian and others that haven't got into it yet.
Yeah.
Is Eurorack level is a lot hotter than a standard line input level.
Yeah.
And so one of the things you run into is that if you start bringing some of your external gear into it, like you guys know that I use the Strike Fet quite a bit with my stuff, and you bring the Strike Fet in, and she's she's very, very quiet. And so you've got to have some sort of way to boost it. So those little preamps, anything that you can boost your line level to a Eurorack level. And sometimes there's even just modules that literally you just connect it up and it just in it goes and out it comes, and it's already Eurorack level. You don't have to touch anything. They're generally sort of the way to go.
It's like the Make Noise Rosie takes care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that.
Bit of a plug for CMS Labs, who actually have a module called the Plus Minus 18 dB, which there's a video coming out on my channel. I think it's next week, which you guys will be able to see. Anyone who's a channel member will see it now. And one of the cool things that that fixes that problem with the line level. But one of the other cool things about it is you can use it for all these other types of non-standard things that you would have even thought to use it for. Like, for example, you can create trapezoids from triangle waves because it does audio clipping, and some interesting things that you can do with envelopes. You can bring an envelope into it, and you can use it as actual amplifier attenuverter, so you can also decrease the envelope as well as increase it. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but if you ever put an envelope into something at a hotter voltage than what it normally should go, you get some interesting results out of your little synth engines. Our filters behave differently. VCAs behave differently. So these are cool little things that you can do, and it's all just because we're learning that Eurorack has a certain level and other gear is different, and the guitars are different again. There's that higher Z and all that sort of stuff going on with the guitars, right? So, and because of that, it's bringing this electronics to us for us to mangle and manipulate and make some more craziness that comes out of our gear.
Well, it's like deliberately dealing in the area outside of the specifications.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pushing it beyond the standard Eurorack level and something. What's going to happen? Well, we didn't design it to do that. We've never tried it. Well, here you go. Here's a module to help you try that. So
like that module was saying that had the what was that word? The pot that decreased the voltage. The starve pot. I thought it was an interesting comment, wasn't it? Decrease the voltage. It's almost like you're starving your module from what it needs, and then all of a sudden it just behaves erratically. I've noticed that if you ever plug a whole bunch of modules into your rack, and your case has only got so much power it can handle because it's got a standard power supply in it, one of the things I've noticed is the oscillators behave really weird when they don't get enough power. And it's actually kind of cool because you're like, oh, what's going on with this oscillator? It's not behaving. Like I can't get it to stay in tune, or it's not even staying stable on the volts per octave. And then you realize, well, hang on a minute, maybe there's too much stuff in my case, and I need to, I've over sort of packed it with gear. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, there's cool stuff like the clipping cap module where you purposely introduce clipping digital, analog and digital distortion clipping into your audio, and they give you different diodes to swap out, so you get different characters.
Yeah, I like those little sort of modular things that you can click in with the different diodes in them, and some of them have got little caps. And I think Chris, you got one of those things, haven't you?
Yes, I do. I'll just move the camera. Just a moment, so that we can see it.
Don't lock everything off.
Yeah, don't let it fall down again, buds. Jeez.
I promise.
Let's go full screen on him.
Let's go full screen on me. And launch OBS control and hit the reconnect.
While we're waiting for Chris, does anyone got a guess for that synth quiz this week? I don't know if anyone's guessed it yet.
Well, loads of us have guessed.
Yeah, they've been guessing away.
Have they?
Yeah. In fact, I've made 30 quid by reselling the clues runs. So that'll go towards my first Eurorack module.
Okay.
The lag is really not adjustable. Yeah.
That was interesting. The Neutral Lab Scrat. I don't know if I can hear Chris.
Yeah, we can hear.
Sorry, I went out of earshot. I can try my lapel mic in a moment. Is it turned on? Yes, it is. It's alive.
So what does it do? I keep forgetting what this does.
It's a filter.
Okay.
With components in the feedback path. So it does some weird stuff. Is that the right one? Yes. I can get it to make sound if you want.
Oh no, I believe you. But those little boards, they've got different components on them, right? Which changes the flavor of the filter.
Yeah, so you get little.
You have like germanium diode stuff like that.
So they even give you little components.
I quite like their little logo, the little face. That's quite. That's quite cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's funny because Scrat is from Ice Age. Is a character from Ice Age. I'm surprised these guys didn't get sued for that.
Oh right. I don't think I've seen Ice Age.
Jeez, we're going to run out of words and things soon. You're going to get sued or for a sound or for a name.
Yeah.
It's original material, right? It's copyright. So.
One's got an LED on it.
Okay, loads of guesses. I'm gonna have to scroll back through chat, guys. All right, done, Chris. Sorry.
Okay, good.
We can't hear you. But I'm going to scroll back through chat and just I don't know how far back I've got to scroll.
That's going to take a while to find.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look as well. So
I'm just looking for where it says synth quiz. I guess it's probably the best way for me to find it. So
there's one.
I saw one. Just
so we've got Biscuit was Dreadbox NYX.
Yeah.
Brett Lemons was Wave Station.
Yeah.
Andy was Summer Pulsar 23, which I have to say I think is a good guess.
Okay.
Well, I took the
Profit
post literally,
VS.
so who knows, right?
Yeah. Profit VS from Mazio Head.
Kieran says Korg Modwave. Where's Wagoo's guess? Or is he just completely poo-pooed the whole
He was
story?
holding off for a while.
He's a bit further down, actually. Wagoo is called Minilog XT.
Okay, yeah, there it is there.
Yeah. Behringer Craze from Andy Synchrotron.
Jeez, Wagoo. I have to make these
Well, I've
harder,
got
eh?
Tiorzi in there, the cog.
Yeah, mine's a Cog Chaos Pad.
All right. Shall we reveal? I think
I already did Chaos Pad before.
I think we've got.
Did they? Did somebody beat me?
Yeah.
Although with Azio Head, I've
No, I
agreed
mean, it was
to
the
share
first synth
the
quiz
share
was
the
Chaos
prize.
Pad.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I think,
yeah, it was.
think,
I'm just sticking to you
You'll be right again sometime.
Art Pro
So-
Soloist, Bon Tempe. There's a whole bunch just coming in now. Lyrican.
Bon Tempe.
Yeah.
Bon Tempe.
Jeez. Look, I think we can give it to Wagoo. So the answer I was looking for was Korg Minilog, and he'd put Korg Minilog XD. I mean, we might as well give it to him. It's the same. It's pretty much the same.
Different synth.
It's the same synth.
Yeah. It's got to be correct.
No,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
We'll
you
give it
win
to
an
him.
even. You win an evening of jelly wrestling, Wagoo.
So-
That's what you win.
Yeah.
So what was post? Post effects or something? What was the post in it?
No, the
So
post itself.
post, yeah, they've got a post delay effects. You can actually choose a post filter or a pre
I have
filter
it. I
on
don't
the
even
delay
know that,
effect.
So
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
get that. I thought you were talking about the joystick.
The oscillator is obviously the shape, and the motion is the motion sequencer that's on it.
Sequencer, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
I thought that one was pretty easy this week. I mean, I've used
Post
pretty much
timing.
standard words.
Threw me off.
Still didn't win. Oh, no, it's not easy, is it? Most of us didn't win. We all came up with if we all came up with the same answer, then it's easy. Although I'd say I'm better at this than I am at name that synth because I'm really rubbish at that.
The hard thing about doing these quizzes is that I know you guys are just out there Googling it, and you've
No,
got to
we're
make
not.
it so that it's
I-
difficult
I
to
think we-
Google.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've stopped doing that. I promise. I'm too busy dropping electronics and trying to work out.
Put it this way: if you Google and still lose, that's really sad, right?
That is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think once you've got the 3 keywords, it becomes something easier to search for. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's good. I think you guys are definitely buying into the whole idea of that little segment. So we'll keep going with it.
Awesome.
Definitely, if I keep winning, keep earning money from telling people this.
Yes.
Don't tell them the
Start learning
keywords.
economy.
Don't tell them the keywords.
All right,
They're
so
just being
that's it
lazy.
then. I won't.
You should never reward laziness, mate.
Yeah, don't
Never
do
reward
that.
laziness.
Poor
was on to
old
winner
Craig
there.
came in late, so yeah. Charge. Actually, I think it's as your head, so I should charge more.
Yeah.
So a five or
You,
keyword.
you charge more for the further back the clue is.
I'm just
Yes,
wondering if that's made
it's a good
Wagoo
idea.
feel better after last week.
Oh yeah, he's got a big head right now.
Yeah,
Scratch.
yeah.
I'll just scratch his
No,
ear
it's-
from here.
he'll never let that down. The last one that was too
No.
much.
Yeah.
He had a big cry last week, didn't he? Good old Daniel.
Dude.
Yeah. Don't forget though that if you do, we haven't had a name that since my last one that I did, and I'm not going to be doing for you guys every month because it's very like all the other stuff I do already. I want you guys to go out there and do it, and I think it's I don't know if I've sold it to you or not, but as a personal experience, and anyone else who's done a Name That Synth video, it actually really helps you get to know the synth that you're doing it for. It really does.
I might do one at some point when I get my new computer. So when I actually win it, I can put you know, if I get some software from. There's no point in putting it on this, and I know I'll win it, so that's why.
Well, the other point is too. So if you've got like a writer's block at the moment with your music, right? Wagoo has conceded to Maikshifter. Okay.
Yes. I said the original.
All right.
Make it
conceded
the
it.
original.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make is one of the Name That Synth videos that I did, sorry, years ago. Part of the stuff that I generated from that video, I actually used in one of my tracks. So it can benefit you. If that helps. Every little bit helps, right?
Oh,
Writer's block.
Yeah, what's that?
Composer's block. I don't know, is that what we call it? Writer's block?
Yeah, writer's block, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. Sequencer's block?
Well, I'm writing for live stuff, and for obviously albums that I don't put out on YouTube or anything. And the stuff I write for YouTube is usually is what sort of gives me ideas for either live or actual albums that I'll put out on Bandcamp. And thank you again, Jim.
Oh, no worries. Can't wait to get into it.
So that's my sort of way I get round writers. I won't say get round writers block. It's something everyone gets, and when you get it, it can be a bit annoying.
I don't think I've ever really had it, if I'm honest.
Writer's block.
I mean, I've probably worked through it in a sense that, you know. I mean, you
I
come
suppose
up
you're
with
getting different sort of levels.
20 crap ideas, and then, you know.
Is that all?
Oh, the best ones.
20.
I tell you what,
And
the
then
best
one good
ones.
idea.
The best ones are when you think you've been in the studio or wherever you're making music for most of the day, and then towards the end of the day you come up with something that you think's a really great one. So you sit there almost just rolling it over for the last 20 minutes or so before you go out, and then you come back the next day or next 2 days and go, Jesus God, was that what?
Yeah.
And realise how bad it actually was.
Yeah.
I mean, writer's
the hardest
block
sometimes is like
could
hardware
be-
jams. You have the time constraint and required elements, and then you have to incorporate those, and that could be tough.
Yeah.
Writer's block could be just where you're choosing not to write music at all. You're just choosing not to because you're having a break from it.
That's probably what happens to me when I don't.
Yeah.
when I don't write any music because I haven't. I don't feel like I want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played in
That's
Liverpool
good,
the other week, and beforehand I only had the 2 tracks that I'd played at the Stafford EMOM, and I ended up I wrote 6 tracks in a week in order to play like a long set because I just didn't have the material and needed it for like a 40-minute set. So I think when you've got a deadline like that, it can really help. And you just do it, and you don't think, get yourself out of the way and just do it. That can really help.
It is interesting that because when I was preparing for the Breeze Block Beats, I got the gear out and then started to mess around and not really sure what I was doing. And then Jason turned up at the studio and said, it's only 2 weeks away. And I went, because I hadn't anything nailed down.
Yeah.
So I had to do nothing but just every day I was doing something, and then I'd pretty much just set that. I thought, well, that's okay, but I just now need to make it better. So I was constantly tweaking it, Yeah. And the video I put out on Monday was not the first attempt, but it was quite a way down the track as to it still isn't quite the same as the finished one that I actually played on the night, but there's always an element of experimentation that it's not going to be the same every time I play it.
Absolutely. I mean, one of my tracks that I played ended up being about 30 to 40 seconds of an ambient sort of thing because something went weirdly wrong. And I'm like, okay, I'm just got to make this a short thing. So,
You just have to go with
No
the
one
flow.
knows, mate. Nobody knows.
I love that. I love
absolutely.
the jeopardy though.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
See, Ian, it's not the same time every time you play it. It's perfect for modular. Just go for it.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
It's never the same.
Stop it.
He's an electron man.
You're already doing it.
Electron and Moog.
You know, because you know, I don't know whether you guys in the UK. There's a show coming up next month, which is in London, and it's the Synth and Pedal Show, right? And there is modular stuff there. And last year, because we were staying in London at the time, and I'm going to go again to it this year. I think it's 2 days this year. Jane went with me, and she lasted literally 7 minutes before leaving. So if I went down the modular route, you know, not only would she really would probably divorce me, you know. I mean, she lovingly brings me cups of tea, but she doesn't spend any time in here, you know. Although I have to say she does love this. She likes this.
You wouldn't be able to afford a divorce.
Exactly, I wouldn't know. Yeah, that'd be it.
Because you'd be poor with all
I've
the
been living in a
modular,
one-bedroom flat with one synth. You know,
Yes,
pick a synth. Everything else gets sold. You know.
But going back to the point about writer's block and people sort of in chat were sort of, you know, talking about it. One of the other things you can do too is when you're not actually avidly writing, like you're not laying down tracks and things, but you're just kind of tinkering around in the studio, is like a lot of people forget to do this. I know it sounds really basic, but they forget to press record, or they forget to hook it up to something that can record. Even if you've got like a Zoom recorder or something nearby, if you're not plugged into your computer or your Mac, at least have something that you can record with. Because I guarantee you there are little happy accidents that happen all the time.
Absolutely.
That you wish, oh my God, I wish I recorded that.
And every time
I have
you
lost
say,
umpteen cool little melodies.
yeah, every time you say, I'm just going to test a cable or something,
Yeah.
you're just going to test a cable, or you're just going to make sure the module's working, and you end up doing something and it's like, oh crap, wasn't even intending to do that, and now I wasn't pressing record. So
yeah.
Especially if you get any new bit of gear, have it recording, because you will do your best stuff as soon as you get it.
Yeah,
you'll forget it otherwise.
That's the tough one as well.
Except if you're really if you're really under some sort of influence, like if you got really drunk or something like that, because you think it sounds cool, and then you wake up the next day and you listen to it and you go, oh my God, what was that rubbish?
I mean, I have to say, I once, I did do that. I went to a party, came back from the party. This was like 20 odd years ago. Came back from the party, trolleyed. Thought, I'm going to make some music. It'd be brilliant. And then next, it was just absolutely awful. Absolutely, just rubbish.
That is the downside of it, Simon. Simon in the chat is saying, I've got hard drives full of 8-bar ideas never to be completed.
Yeah,
that is the downside of it.
Yeah, I know that. Yes.
One of the fun things though is when you do get bored, sometimes you go back and listen to some of the stuff that you've recorded. You know, and you stumble across something and you go, "Whoa, actually, that's pretty cool. I might actually use that." So that's the whole point of it. Is you're not going to use it all, but you might stumble across it and go, "Yep, that's what I want to use."
It's just another tool, another crate to dive, if you know what I mean. With the DJ analogy.
The OP1 was always good for that, because I would take the OP1 with me wherever I was going. I'd take the OPZ now, and I would just record, and then when I get back home, put it into a folder. So I've got a folder which is just all full of OP1 bits, and every so often I start to pull stuff out, and I think, because it's always really weird stuff. But that might go with what I'm doing now, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I mean, there's a drum loop on one of the tracks on the last album, and it was just all done randomly on an OP1. You know, I did a bit of reverb, and it was happy days.
Yeah, one of the things I used to love about the OP1 was that it's kind of like, it's not an arpeggiator, but it was kind of like when you played notes, you could set it to some sort of you know, whether it's blues or you know, whatever, and you could kind of in a way you could almost like mash the keys, and it would actually sound quite musical. And sometimes you'd end up with some really, really cool little sort of melody things going on there. And the good thing about it too is it sends MIDI out too, so you can actually record it, and then you don't have to actually use the tones that are inside your OP1. You can send it out to something else. That's actually one of the things that I miss about it. It was actually a little feature that a lot of people don't usually mention on it. Mash the buttons and sounds good.
Mash the buttons.
Good for me and Daren with
We
our
wanna talk
one-finger
about
jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
The LFOs on the OP1 are really wicked. They're so deep.
I use my thumbs.
Plus, you can use the radio as an LFO input.
Yeah, exactly.
I've not done much with the radio. I've got the aerial. I know you don't need the aerial, but I did buy the aerial back in the
You
day.
sample off it or use it as an LFO?
I've not
It's
done that
pretty
much. Yeah, I've just messed around with it a little bit, but not as much as I probably should do. I should do more with that. I mean, I dug it because I hadn't used it for about 8 months. Dug it out the other week and thought, "By God, this thing sounds great," and it still sounds great.
There were guys
Just on
traveling through
headphones,
Europe
yeah.
and recording local radio to their OP1 and making beats on the train and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's great.
One of the things I was talking before about recording stuff, and I know that when you start playing with modular, you can miss out on some of the ability to record some of the things that happen in modular because it's doesn't have that facility for you to do it. But it's starting to get better. I feel like there's areas where you can record CV now, especially with like DAWs like Bitwig and Ableton and that. You can record CV as long as you've got an audio interface that does the DC coupling stuff. It's good. Especially with those generative type sequences that kind of generate random CVs and gates and pitches and things like that. And you think to yourself, the only time you'll ever get to hear it is if you record the audio that's driving whatever you've got it connected to. But it's so much more handy if you can actually record the CV and gate and pitch data that's coming, or waveforms that are coming out, and then you can actually then play that back through your DAW to other gear in time because it's clock synced. So that's sort of stuff.
Back in a Bitbox.
Yeah, Bitbox is a great example, Andy. Exactly. So you don't even need a DAW; you can use a Bitbox.
Yeah.
I quite like that because I did some generative stuff. Made a generative, basically it was like a little mini recording studio in Max MSP. But it's an old version of Max MSP, so I'd have to update it to. I've got version 8, I think now. This was when I had version 5, and that was really, really cool to sort of set it going, and then just. I always like the idea that you can change things while it's generating stuff. I didn't want anything that would just generate a lot of music. I wanted to be able to be the only thing that would, the only input really as a person, so you could do all sorts of things with it. I should dig it out.
That reminds me, I have to buy Max MSP now because my free trial died for the Osmos editor. So
all right,
have Max MSP just for that stupid Hawken editor.
Yeah, it's on version 9, so I haven't upgraded because there was no any real change.
You can use the Hawken editor without, full Max MSP there.
Well, you need Max MSP and there's a free version, but then it expires. The trial version expires, and you have to pay for it. Last I checked.
You can use the Hawken editor still after any, because otherwise you'd have no means of editing the Osmos.
That's what I mean. It needs that engine. It needs the Max MSP engine, and as far as I know, it's not free after a trial version. But I'll double check.
The Hawken editor is free.
Well, unless they repackage it, because it had to plug into Max MSP. So
but that bit should still work even after the full MXP expires.
Oh, I'll double check it because I tried it and it wouldn't let me. It wanted me to buy a license and stuff. So
it's probably some weird version thing going on.
Typical nonsense, right?
Yeah, I started getting into the Hawken editor and the Osmos and putting some new sounds on it. It's wild. It's such a
different. You got the Osmos, Jim?
Looking at things.
You got the Osmos, Jim?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because
I'm quite keen on the little synths that they've done, the little MPE synth. I'd like to have a go at one of them with the instrument because that's basically a Hawken engine in a really small little box. Yeah. It's about 400 quid, is it? 300 quid, something like that. I don't want to just go out and buy one. I want to try it first, but
why can't they just do it as software?
Problem.
I mean, that to me should just be software.
Yeah.
Instead of a little box. and then because your
Well,
instrument
the little box would be great to check out.
True,
I take an iPad out, and I'd rather not take.
Well, they have the
iPad,
Hawken
otherwise
modular. You can get the module for it.
Yeah, is that the thing we're talking about? The little block box, little black box thing. Yeah, that's what I want to try. So I may
it's modular.
I tried the Harken. No, it isn't. I tried the Harken.
Look.
What's the strip thing?
Is it open source? Is it? Because we're saying the code runs on Shark DSPs. Is it open source or is it closed source?
I don't know.
Proprietary. I thought it was closed source, but maybe I'm wrong. Might be open source.
I did try the Harken, that long strip thing, which I wasn't that impressed with. That was
the cheap one,
the synth and pen. Yeah,
not the Continuum, but the little Continuum Mini.
Yeah, that's it. The Continuum Mini. Yeah, I wasn't that impressed by it.
Yeah, that was weird because the whole thing pushes down like a giant switch.
Yeah, that was it. That was my problem with it. It was really weird.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I quite like the sound of it. The engine in it which is.
Well, the Continuum itself is great, but you really have to watch because there's no physical landmarks for feel. All the markings are there, so you have to watch while you're playing it.
Like I kind of feel like they should have, you know how like on a keyboard, a computer keyboard, they have the little bumps on the F and the J, I think it is, so that when you get your two pointer fingers, you feel for those little bumps, right? I kind of feel like some of those synth needs, because if you're playing them in the dark, you kind of, especially if they're sort of X, Y, Z, expression, you kind of need somewhere to central back yourself again.
Absolutely, that's what you do with an accordion, because an accordion's got a little rhinestone or
got the rhinestone, the little nipple,
and you work out from where that is where you are.
Yep, exactly.
Well, even the Rolly Seaboard, Kent said he practiced that in the dark a lot, so he had to force the muscle memory on it because it was such a strange interface.
Yeah. I mean, I think as we start, this stuff is really new to the music industry. When you think about it in the history of music instruments, it's really new. Like the Osmos, it's really new, and that kind of expression is really new. And I feel like we're going to need to evolve it as a community. We're going to need to evolve it and feedback to these people, and I think new products will come out, whether it's the same people doing it or a new crowd doing it. I'll be honest with you, Andy. I've held back on getting one. I kind of not because I don't like it. I do like it. I think it's awesome. But and probably secondary, it's probably not like a huge sort of attraction to me. Whereas you guys, you love that stuff. I'm kind of I come from a different angle.
You're talking about the Osmos?
Yeah. So I feel like
it's weird. Yeah.
I definitely like the whole sort of expression stuff, but I can't. See, I'm still stuck with the CS80 with that. No one's really built something like that ever since, and that was made in the 70s.
Yeah,
it had some insane expression on it. Yeah,
I mean, I played the
Osmos. This does so
Osmos
much more than the CS80 does.
Yeah, I understand, but it's almost like as if it's too much for me, if that makes sense. So I definitely dig it.
Kent didn't like it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I played it at Gearfest last year. It must have been last year. And I spent a good 10 minutes on it. And if I hadn't gone down the route of buying an instrument, I would be seriously looking at both of them again. But I have an instrument, so I've gone down that route. But I really liked it. I didn't expect to like it, but I thought this is really cool. There's the weird thing on where you push where the keys go underneath, which I thought was a little odd, but I couldn't quite get my head
cool in
around
between
that
stuff.
feeling,
This is like a C-board with hard keys, and you have accelerometer and stuff. So you have a lot of expression on this little guy. So the Artiphone Corda, it's very nice.
Yeah, I think it helps if you're a guitarist with the Osmos. There's something about the sort of
it does with an instrument.
Yeah, being used to sort of having fine control over your finger positions in order to affect tuning.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a crap guitarist, so I love the Osmos. So.
the instrument, you can set it up exactly like a guitar if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I did try it when I first got it, but it freaks my brain out a bit, and I just put it back to normal and learnt it properly. I thought I can't be doing that. I can play guitar.
We also have
but,
that. Is it the Xquis or Xgeese or whatever that thing is called?
That. Yeah, I sold mine.
I sold it. Yeah.
Honestly, it was.
It's too bad. It looked good.
Well, it looked good, and it was cheap. Less than it was £250, I think, when I bought mine. But they haven't developed the iPad app for it yet. You can't use it. You have to use it with a computer.
That's weak. They didn't have the iPad for it. That's stupid. Yeah.
And the updates were coming, but the updates weren't making much change to it really. And I just thought this is, and it didn't have, you had to use. What was the engine it used? It used the app that was in. I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, you had to use. They haven't developed their own sound engine for it at all. Right. Even so it was an open source free synth that you had to use with it, and the whole thing just didn't.
I was
rid of it. I got my money back. At least.
I was talking to this music director at my son's school, and I don't know how it came up, but the Osmos came up in conversation, and I said to the guy, I said, like, this guy is like an incredible piano, like one of the best I've ever heard in my city anyway. And it came up in conversation because he knows I'm a synth head, and I think he was asking me about it, and I said, oh, are you going to get one? And he goes, I'm scared if I learnt how to play like that, I can just imagine me sitting on the big grand and I'm wobbling the piano keys and sliding my fingers up and down, and nothing's happening. Yeah. It was a pretty good point.
I mean,
actually.
I didn't like the feel of the C board when I first played it. And I had it for a few weeks. I bought one, and I just couldn't get on with the rubber,
the wetsuit.
I mean, dead flesh was how it was described by Gaz Williams, and he was right. So I could never get on with that really. Although I do like
it. Really helps the expression though. It's super cool if you get used to it.
Yeah. Their synth engine's really good. The
Equator is excellent.
Equator. I've got Equator 1. I haven't got Equator 2.
They have the F expansion stuff too. That's really good too.
I actually did like that. I like the engine.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get my hands didn't enjoy the wetsuit feeling.
No, and mine neither. Yeah.
But the instrument,
every time I took my hands off, it was like pad with bumps. It's really just a big XY pad, right? So it's really
the instrument. Out of all these genres that you guys have talked about, the instrument would probably be, I'd say, on the top of my list of what I would get in that sort of MPE type controller. Because I've used them before, and the only reason I haven't got one is because they are really expensive here in Australia.
Yeah.
Because our dollar just doesn't have the power anymore.
He sold it because I'm on Richard. I'm on Roger's mailing list, and they've sold 5,000 worldwide as of last week. I think
that's pretty impressive.
Good. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, and obviously there's the big one and the small one.
Actually, that's quite surprising. There's that many.
His support is second to none. I mean, there's a monthly Zoom call with him if you want to. If you've got any issues, he's brilliant. He's a great guy. Answers your emails,
See, I've heard people complain that they don't like how it's like a hard surface, and
it's hard. But you get used to that.
And I actually don't mind that. I actually don't mind that because it's kind of what I'd expect.
Yeah, I hadn't played it when I bought it, so I did buy it on spec, really. But actually, within a couple of days, I was really used to that. And obviously, when I go and play live, I might not take it on in a couple of weeks, but I've always taken it, really. So
there's
the big one or the smaller one?
I've got the big one.
You only ever get the big one. Don't get the small one.
Yeah, you can split.
For portable.
Yeah, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah, you can split it in half.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Yeah. So you can have. I've had 2 synths running, on it. I need a laptop to do that though, really. But it's brilliant. I mean, it is expensive at £1,500 or whatever it is. It might be a bit cheaper now.
I mean, all the products that Roger Lynn's made over the years. Like even when you look at it, the MPC was technically made by him, right? LM drum, all that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's got a different sort of way that their brains work, but for me, the logic just works for me in my head. It's just
absolutely.
It's kind of it's sensible.
The simple things like it doesn't matter what power supply you use with it or what the polarity is, providing it's 9 volts upwards. So you can put any power supply in it, 9 to 12. You don't have to think about it. So if you want to borrow a power supply and providing it's 9 volts, it works. It will work off an iPad.
Ian, just do that again.
I don't think not very well.
Do that again.
And
it pops up on your screen. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, there's the heart, isn't it? Is it a heart?
Yeah, you do heart. You do the light show behind you.
That's not.
There's
it's
a
not a very
storm.
good heart,
is that your web camera doing that? Is that
lightning?
No, it's the browser. I think.
It's Apple OS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I can't remember how to get the rain. Or the thunder.
Right. I think double thumbs down, isn't it?
Is it double thumbs down? There we go.
Oh, makes it rain.
Thanks, Jim.
Jeez.
If you do the peace sign, then you get the laser light show.
Oh, that's balloons.
Oh, that
balloons.
Wait, what's
double?
What's the piece?
Double.
So
is it double piece? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, there we go.
No,
that's confetti.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
It's bonkers. Isn't it?
I've never noticed
We
that.
don't need to talk about synths. We should just do this.
I've had Apples for years, and I've never ever
The
noticed
Roman
that.
salute also works. What's a Roman
Yeah,
salute?
it's a certain. You have to turn it on. I think it's a feature.
That's what Musk did at the.
Oh, is that?
thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Doing that.
Or what he said he did.
Yeah, we know exactly what he did.
Yeah, just be careful doing salutes.
Double thumbs up for lasers.
The one that annoys me is have you guys got Apple Watches? I've got an Apple Watch. I've had this for a few years now.
I have a Chinese knockoff of one. So.
If you're doing something where you're like leaning and your wrist is bent, and the watch kind of pushes down on that button there, and that will actually turn on Siri.
Wake it up. Oh, okay.
And it's now listening to everything you're doing without you realizing, because you might be working underneath the whatever.
Put it on the other wrist, Ranz.
That's annoying.
Waggles
you might be in a very precarious position like that.
I'm not so sure I should do double horns.
Exactly. You don't want to be doing like.
Well, if you have Amazon Alexa, listen all the time.
Doing the old horizontal donkey dance.
Yes, I was going to say,
listening to everything you're saying.
Yes, it was great for me. Says Siri.
Would you like me to repeat ooh ah ah ooh ooh ah?
Exactly.
You know what's funny? If you insult Siri enough times, it stops responding.
Oh.
Really?
She sulks.
Until you ask a legitimate question.
I think I've seen some of those videos, the reels, and I think some of them are fake, like where they ask Siri like what they think of Alexa, and it said something rude about, I think some of those are fake.
Well, the funny thing is the Alexa and Siri in the same room talking to each other. Have you seen that? That's very funny.
No.
Not as funny
It's a little close
as the guy that gets the two Chinese restaurants talking to each other. That is the best.
Yeah.
You guys are going to see that if you haven't seen that.
No, you called me.
Yeah,
No, you
Chinese,
called me.
Chinese confusion.
What you want? Hello? What you want? Yeah.
They did it with a pizza place as well. That's very funny.
It's so funny. We should probably wrap up the show, guys, because we've been streaming for about 3.5 hours, and
excellent.
I think that'll do. I think these guys need their personal time. Nice for Jim to join us. Jim, you're always welcome, mate.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in. Don't forget to check out the. Where's the EMOM? Is it in Liverpool or is it in Blackpool or?
No. So. Tomorrow I'm going to be on Jamie's show, and then 8 p.m. tomorrow there's a Bandcamp listening party for my new mini album launch.
Oh, okay. 8 p.m. my
UK
time
time.
Is probably a bit too late for me.
Yeah.
Is it going to be recorded so that we can watch it on replay?
I don't know. I don't know how Bandcamp listening parties work. This is
okay.
I've
Is it
done,
kind of
so,
just a you got to be there type thing?
I think
I think
so.
you need to be
Yeah.
there.
So yeah,
I think it's like
And
it's
then
like
there's
2 in
chat.
the morning for me. So it's a bit
it's 2 or 3. Yeah.
bit hard for me
But,
to get to it.
Yeah.
My album will be out on everywhere except Spotify on Tuesday, because I'm sacking off Spotify
Yeah,
because
down on Spotify.
Daniel Ek is a absolute.
He's an idiot, that guy.
He's a piece of work,
Yeah.
and he's horrible.
Mhm.
And I don't think anyone should give him any money or provide
on
him with
you.
any
No.
content that's free.
No, we're
Content
giving
we can
we're
say.
giving artists
Content,
choice.
exactly.
No
Yeah.
more
It is.
content for you.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, when we did the Ramshackled album, we did say to them, "Do you want to put it on Spotify?" And they said yes. So,
Yeah.
but it's up to
Yeah,
the individual.
There's more
I'm
coverage.
having nothing to do with Spotify.
Just
now.
realize they'll steal your stuff and make new bots out of it. So
Absolutely.
Training, God knows what AIs.
Yeah, and also funding military AI tech as well. That's what Daniel Ek's doing. So
Hey, Keith, if you're still there,
he can
let us
do
know
one.
how your laser phaser went, mate. I know Keith got one delivered. I think
yeah.
it was last week. Let us know how it went, mate. You can, Keith. You can catch up with me in socials. We can have a chat about it. That's it, guys. We're gonna scoot off. Don't forget to press
I'll put
record.
the link in one more time for Stanford Karma tonight. If you guys want us to watch a live stream, it's winter concert. Should be cool. So
If you want to see any of the links of any of the videos, images, and anything that you've seen on today's show, don't forget to check out Ranzee.com. The blog article will probably be up in about an hour's time. And be nice. See you guys. Catch you later.
Later, people.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone. Take care.